everybody, welcome. This is Mr. Hardcore Mode, where nothing is easy. We are back. Sorry it's been a while. I've been taking a couple of days off to unwind, and oh man, I needed to unwind. This heat, along with the job that I do, especially when I do outside work, so the heat was beating my ass. I'm sorry, the heat has been beating my ass, and it won every single time. I do not function well under the heat. I was getting major headaches. It was the worst. Yeah, that was my biggest gripe. This whole God, the heat, bro. Oh man, but I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad I'm here. How you doing, Snail? How you doing? We got some things to talk about, and also I'm a little excited about Rogue Trader getting. I just downloaded Rogue Trader's new season pass, the Lex Mechanic. I guess I can show you right now. Let me see if I can change the screen for you. Okay, what the hell? Let me change that. I think I can change it. Hold on. Okay, that's fine. Bring it up more. I think I can bring it right there. That's a little bit better. Oh. There we go. Yeah, it's better. Okay. There are a few things that I wanted to talk about, but I wanted to talk about Owlcat has a new update here that I'm kind of excited to try out. Let me just turn off that music for a second. Where you at? Owlcat games, Lex Mechanicus. This right here. Oh, they have more debriefing. What is this? Mortismo Gaming. I guess he was doing something 2 weeks ago. So this is the new class and a new companion.
On many worlds.
You get a doggy.
Cities drowned in ash, halls draped with duty. Feudal strongholds wrapped in ceremony, rot hidden within gold, their guilt already determined. But in the end, truth is indifferent to pageantry. We are not sent to save. We are sent to judge, to weigh lives not by mercy, but by duty. The Lex does not falter.
Wait, you get a bird? You can choose between a bird, too?
It does not forgive.
That's pretty cool. So they got a 15-hour DLC added on to an already bolsterous. Let's check out the other one, because Owlcat Games has the other one that I already have on. I feel like at this point, I think what I want to do is wait. Oh my god. Should I even say this? I feel like I should just wait until all of their stuff is out. All of their stuff is out, and then I'll be like, okay, we can have a playthrough. Because every time I appreciate this because they add to the main mission, which is fucking great. It's fucking good. But it's like, if they keep on doing that, I'll just wait until you guys are done. Let's see what they got. Like, that's the 1.3 review. I've already seen that. But this is the DLC from the first one. See, this one I was already playing.
On this great ship,
Best woman.
is to be one of thousands.
Best wife.
You dwell within its spires of power, in starlit luxury, while we dwell within its shadowed depths. We are the cult of
I already went there.
spun web. Anointed killers, we bring death to those who wish you harm. We divine our targets and end them swiftly.
Nice. I'm digging the new animation.
I am your blade in the darkness, your shield, and your shadow.
Yeah, best wife. Best wife. Part of the death cult. And I thought this was fucking amazing. And I believe that they added 30 plus new hours. Like her story. And I have not completed it. But her thing is like way more expansive than the Lex Mechanicus. But I feel like that they're just going to add, because they got the Dark Heresy. But the Dark Heresy one, which is pretty much, where is it? The Dark Heresy one is separate from all the other ones. They're still adding, I think they added Venom. Thank you for the sub, much appreciated. 9 months, man. Man, you've been around. Appreciate that. Don't think I don't remember you hitting that fucking that fire alarm. Don't think I don't remember. But yeah, they got this thing for the Dark Heresy. I don't know if you need the Rogue Trader for this. I think this is separate from Rogue Trader. But it's... Is it? Owlcat Games reveals a new game in 40k universe. Coming Acolyte. Find out more. Dark Heresy. It's separate. It's separate. Yeah, it's a whole separate thing to it. That's really, really good. Really, really good. Had to restart my machine. Red Alert 3 and tabbing out to desktop sometimes locks the game to a screen and you can do nada about it. I've had that happen to me before. I'm sorry that happened, dude. Here to support, keep up the good content. Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I appreciate the love and support you guys have been giving me. It has been great. Sorry that I haven't been streaming the last 2 days. The heat has been killing me, and I had a major headache. And all I wanted to do was just... You know what the stupid thing is? While I was down and out and I couldn't stream, you know what I did that was perfect for the fact that I was dying of heat and I had a major headache? Oh, yeah. I played Stellar Blade on the hardest difficulty doing boss challenges. Yeah, that's gonna help me. That's gonna... Oh, yeah, that's definitely gonna make me feel much better. I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? It's like, you know what you should do? You should get some soup and go to bed. Nah. What I'm gonna do, though, is do a boss run. I was like, are you an idiot? Sometimes I ask myself that every single day. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I'm just like, I'm out here killing myself. Let me make this bigger. That's better. It's much better. Okay, yeah, much bigger. Yeah, it's wide. Okay, let's show the Dark Heresy. Like, this is like a side thing. I don't know if it's a roguelike or something. I'm not sure.
In this darkest hour, we are besieged on all fronts.
I love the fact that they keep to the lore. They're really passionate about that.
By enemies from within. By enemies from without.
Ogren.
By enemies from beyond. Still, no matter the cost, we must persevere. Every blade must be turned to our defense. Every soul, every dark secret. For if we fail, all will fall into the damnation of eternal night.
If I didn't know better, this is a world that has been ravaged by chaos, and I think it might be tied to the main mission where you had a choice whether or not to destroy that world or to let save people and let it rot. So I'm thinking to myself, what if this is, yeah, I think this is tied to that world that you had a chance to just leave it alone just because it was writhing in chaos. I think it's part of that mission. Although I don't know what that second world is right below with that hive city right there. I think it might be tied to that. Cuz they do that sometimes. It's like the same world. So and also by the way, I need to tell something about Owlcat Games. Their art team is fucking fantastic. This art right here, along with the Death Cult, along with Lex Mechanicus, and also, I gotta shout out to the artist here because they really do a fantastic job. Why am I not subscribed to them? Here's another one where they have amazing art. We're right up here. Let me do a closer look. Right here. This art right here, I'm noticing a pattern. I don't think it's the same person. Beautiful women, by the way. This is what true diversity is. We have handsome characters, we have badass characters, and we have beautiful, hot characters. This is what it's all about. Also, Expanse is one of my favorite sci-fi, IPs. So yeah, it's one of the top 5. Number 1 is going to be Star Wars. It's always going to be Star Wars when it's not touched by Disney. But yeah, this is, I mean, you've got the Hispanic dude with the badass guns and shit. Handsome dude, beautiful blondie. We've missed the beautiful blondie thing. You missed that? We got the handsome, Asian dude, the beautiful fucking black woman, and beautiful redheads? You know what I mean? Where, exactly, where's the gay fat chicks at? I'm trying to find him. Even the blue alien guy is kind of handsome. Everybody here is eating good. You know what I mean? And also, this is a added thing that is really important to what I'm saying, because what I am looking for is the destruction of feminist agendas and the destruction of political ideologies. And the best way to find out is by the way the women act and the men act and the way they interact with each other. I think Expedition 33 shows that very well, where it's just regular people having regular conversations. And where is the moment where... No, she jumps from there. Let me show you.
Zafar, did you get a signal?
Hold up this corridor.
It's only a short moment, but...
Before.
They never look up. Zafar, you were right.
Like, the way she walks is feminine. The way she, like, her hips move is very feminine. Like the way her armor looks, the way her thighs look. This is what Stellar Blades. Let me show you, because people are gonna think that I'm crazy. Let me show you, because I do look for attractive characters in video games, but listen to how the lead director of Stellar Blade was talking about just butts. Because people like to look at me like, oh, well, the main character to Stellar Blade is unrealistic. These motherfuckers take account to what they are making. They look at the female body, they know exactly what's up. A lot of these are okay. He talks about it for literally a
대해서 한번
what is artist's perspective? This is the guy, by the way. He's the creative director of Stellar Blade. What is artist's perspective on this topic?
관점에서 봤을
What is the beauty point of does female butt
때
offer?
엉덩이
This is just how Asia does things, by the way. You're just gonna have to suck it up. Asia really likes female and masculine, female bodies, and the masculine, men body. They're really particular about how they look. This is why there's not that many fat people in Asia. It's just how it is. And I wish it was like this, like in America, but I'm gonna have to take back what I said like months ago when I said that the women in America are the best. I'm gonna have to back up on that. I made a mistake. That's on me. But listen to how he says it.
가 어떤 역할을 하나요? 사람들이 되게 통용적으로
People just know it's a very sexual part of the
성적인
body.
부위로 인식하긴 하지만 아티스트가 생각하는 그
What is artist's perspective on this topic?
엉덩이에 대해서 한번 여쭤보고 싶은데
이제 엉덩이를 얘기하려면 골반을
To talk about, he goes out and he's like, all right, so let's start talking about the butt. First, we must first talk about the pelvis. And as soon as he mentioned the pelvis, he was gonna go down. He's going down the scientific route, the biological fact of how the woman's body looks compared to like men, and the way their body looks when they're athletic. Just read the lyrics.
이야기를 해야 됩니다. 골반은 기본적으로 내장을 담는 그릇이라고 보시면 됩니다. 내장이 있고 그 뒤에 스파인이 휘어져 있고 그 다음에 이제 골반이 있는데 골반도 남자는 약간 서 있고 여자는 약간 기울어져 있어요. 그래서 여자는 내장이 약간 앞으로 쓸려 나와서 배가 조금씩 나옵니다. 그러면서 거기서 고관으로 가면서 생기는 게 비너스의 언덕이라는 곳이에요. 그리고 여성 같은 경우는 당연하게도 근육보다 지방의 양이 많기 때문에 엉덩이가 근육 라인이 잘 안 보입니다. 그래서 근육하고 지방하고 지방으로 쌓여진 엉덩이하고 다리 사이의 경계가 아주 뚜렷하지가 않아요. 그리고 옆에서 보이는 그런 힘을 줄 때 나오는 근육들이 선수가 아닌 이상은 잘 보이지 않습니다. 그래서 굉장히 덩어리를 감을 표현을 해주죠. 그게 허벅지랑 이어지면서 굉장히 인체에서 가장 큰 근육과 지방이 모여있는 곳인데 가장 두꺼운 곳입니다. 허리도 두껍다고 할 수 있지만 허리 이제 내장 안에 근육이 아니라 근육이나 지방이 아니라 내장과 뼈와 이런 것들이 있잖아요. 그래서 지방과 근육으로 이루어져서 흐름을 만들어내주는데 그게 남자는 약간 딱딱해요. 골반뼈도 튀어나와 있기도 하고 뭐 승마살 같은 건 남자는 거의 없으니까. 근데
I like this part right that he says right here. Men basically don't have side glute thick junctions, but women do. This is why you get basically when you're walking behind a woman, you notice that their butt moves a certain different way depending on the way they look. Depending on how much fat that they have, it has a certain motion to it. Other than men who don't have this sort of motion, and they understood that. Ubisoft forgot about that shit.
근데 여성은 그 각진 부분을 지방으로 다 채워서 곡선으로 만듭니다. 그렇기 때문에 그 부분이 굉장히 아름다울 수밖에 없어요.
This is why the female butt is considered a very beautiful feature. True. Agreed. And so there's a difference between women's and men's. Cancel this man. It's just how it is. And when you see developers like this, this is the people that you want to attract to. It's like, I find it funny that he has to get his designs passed by his wife first, and his wife will deny it if it's not sexy enough to her liking. Oh yeah, wait. Yeah, where is she, by the way? Listen, you know how women are really insecure about not only the way they look, but also the way that other people look. That means they say crazy shit in their head, unless they really don't care, and then they just say it out loud. They say crazy shit in their head, like, yo, that guy's ugly, yo, that guy's fat, yo, this guy's got, like, patches all over his face, all this sort of stuff. And they know not to say it because they don't want people to get riled up, unless you instigate, and then they'll probably, you know, say stuff out loud. Just like women in Asia, in America, women in Asia are fucking brutal, bro. Brutal. You don't understand. See, men and women declare fat differently than Asia, okay? We're talking China, South Korea, we're talking Japan. In America, a lot of people are like, she's not fat. What? I mean, she's a little bit bigger, but she's not fat. In Asia, if you, bro, they don't even get to sausage fingers to tell you that you're fat. It doesn't matter whether or not you have sausage fingers or not. You're fat over there. You get a little tubby over here, you're fat. But here's the different thing over there. I know it's really critical over there, or what they constitute as fat over in Asia, but what's the demographic over here? As much as women do care about how women, you know, men and women care a lot about how women look, they don't really care that much about how men look in Asia, in China in particular. They don't really care to, like, there are women out there that care about how men look. Obviously, you gotta be, you know, they like handsome guys. It's just the belly of the beast. That's just how it is. This is, now I'm talking about men right now. They do care about the way men look physically. However, they don't care that much. Everything is leaning towards how women look mostly over there. If you got money over there in Asia, they shut up so fast. It's like, it's so funny. It's almost mechanical how much they just shut up. If you got, let's say, you own a few restaurants, you you know, you're a CEO, you own a farm over there or something like that, you work as a doctor over there, these kind of things, this is why you see mostly women that are pretty much attractive, and they're pretty much with a guy that's like just chubby, you know, his face is kind of like squishy, but still it's like, yo, of course she would be with that guy. I mean, he seems like a nice dude. Also, he's a doctor, he's a surgeon. So over there, it's a little bit cut and dry. If you're fat over there, you're probably never gonna get married. However, in America, if you're fat, there's a good chance that you might get married. There's a good chance that you might get married. However, in Asia, in Japan, it doesn't fucking matter. If you're fat, you're fat, and you're probably not gonna get with somebody. Now, if you are old, it doesn't matter. At a certain age, in Asia, at a certain age, it doesn't really matter. You know, like, you're old, you know, you let yourself go, that's fine. They genuinely probably respect people that are older. That's just how they there's a big, strong emphasis on respect, especially to elders. But, you know, elders have different body types over there where, you know, they don't really care. They want to be clean, but they don't really care too much about their weight too much. But in Asia, most of them eat healthy anyway. But when you're young, you better be young in Asia. When you better look young when you're in Asia. It is brutal. You want to know why there's so many, like, there's one of the reasons why there's a suicide rate over there. It's because kids really get on the way you look, on your weight, whether or not you're a virgin or not, whether or not you're smart or stupid. It's bad. Okay? It's real bad. But that's just how it is over there. Anyone told Druckmann this stuff about pelvises? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Oh yeah. I got this video. I got this. Oh yes, we should start talking about this right now. Play the video. Asian women look 20 until they're 55, then they skip straight to looking 92. They start to do that, like holding their hands behind their back, and they're like hunched over, like they're fucking. Yeah, women over there. Brutal over there. As much as I love women, women are fucking cutthroat over there. Okay, I think it's time to start talking about these certain topics, because I really want to speak on this. Really want to speak on this. Hopefully the music isn't too loud. I'll back it up. Okay, need to go to South Korea. South Korea is a beautiful place. Be respectful and all that good stuff. Let's go ahead. Alright. Hey guys. I want to talk about something, about a thing called Stop Killing Games. Okay, Stop Killing Games is an organization that really focuses on any game, whether or not single or multiplayer, to give the audience or the customer the tools needed to make sure the game stays alive. Well, I'll give you a perfect example of what I mean. The Crew is probably the biggest one. The Crew is a game by Ubisoft, and when the game sort of flopped, the game sort of flopped. What Ubisoft did was, even though people bought The Crew, they cut funding from it. So people can't play the game that is primarily multiplayer. So they just bought a game that they can't play, and Ubisoft shut down the servers, and anybody that bought the Crew game, they can't use it anymore. And it's really, really sad. Okay, so basically what I want Ubisoft and every other game developer to do is pretty much, when it comes to not taking care of servers, or when it comes to DRM or stuff like that, give the tools to the gamer so that they can continue to play the game that they paid for. I'm not talking MMOs. MMOs is a completely different like landscape, but in general, most video games. So let's go ahead and play this game right here. Another good example would be Borderlands. You can play 1, 2, and 3 with your friends right now, because Gearbox is, say what you want about Randy Pitchford, at least every single one of them are peer-to-peer with shift-up servers, and you can play every single one of those games. And I hope later on down the road that they will let people continue to play those games. So let's go ahead and do this. I bet my voice is way too fucking high, and nobody has said a dang thing. Let's go ahead and put you up by 11:30. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe that'll be a little bit better. Let's go ahead and start this.
Guy, you feeling lucky? Yeah, that's right. Spirit fingers. Do you know why? Because it's been about 30 hours since I last slept, and I've done 3 different intros, all of which crash and burned, and I am off my gourd, so now I'm going wacko mode. But, even in my sleep-deprived state, I am still lucid enough to recognize how cattywampus the AAA gaming space has become. Like,
Very
the
true.
gaming industry has so many things that I have bitched and moaned about. Probably the biggest practice that I
The AAA industry has been going pretty crazy right now, like Assassin's Creed Shadows, but not only with AAA, but the fact that game journalists just straight up lie and don't care about gamers. We also got game developers that don't care about gamers. They mostly care about their own political ideology. We got game developers in the AAA industry making mediocre to dull games, and then they up the price, so it's actually us paying for them to make a bloated game. It's like, oh man, we hired 400 people, so we're gonna have to make you guys pay $80 for this brand new game, and we're over here like, we didn't make you hire thousands of people and use $300 million to make a video game. We didn't tell you to do that. Who told you to do that? I didn't tell you to do that. And that sort of thing. And then you play the game, and it's a game you can barely even stand for 3 hours. So it's just an overall just crazy time right now. Like, it feels weird to be a PlayStation fan and an Xbox fan at the same time. There's some things that are good, but most of it is bad. Like, right now, you remember Game Pass, not remember, but you know Game Pass? I'm telling you right now, Game Pass is gonna be, it's gonna be $20 a month sooner or later when it comes to Game Pass. Xbox just had a massive amount of layoffs. And I'm over here thinking, if they're going to lay off people, you know what they're going to do? They're going to say like, yo, Game Pass is so valuable, the demand is so high, so we have to up the price by $5, that sort of thing. Sooner or later, people are going to be like, oh, Game Pass is affordable. And then later on, they're going to be like, $20 a month. It will be $20 a month. I know it's fine now, but sooner or later, when it's $20 a month, people are going to start changing their mind.
I've been most vocal about, not exactly shy on, is the topic of you will own nothing and be happy. The Ubisoft motto. God rest that company's soul. What a pile of dog shit. But it's not just Ubisoft. That has become a prevalent business strategy across the gaming industry. You will own nothing, you will be happy, you're basically, you come away with the idea of ownership of whatever games you purchase.
Anybody feel good about renting an $80 game? I feel great.
I've worn this topic out more than a fleshlight in a frat house, but it is something I am very passionate about. The gaming industry is getting away with more and more garbage where they'll take a shit in your mouth and you're expected to thank them for adding some flavor to your taste buds. It's terrible. And there is an initiative that has been aiming to fight back against a lot of these practices that I think really need some big overhaul. And it's an initiative that I think a lot of you are probably very familiar with. It's called Stop Killing Games.
Yep.
And I've followed it since its inception. I've talked about it on stream quite a few times, though this is my first video going over it. And I regret that now because I see it wasn't going as well as I thought it was. Admittedly, I didn't follow how successful the initiative was, only that it was aiming to do good for consumers, and that it was taking proper steps legally to get there, and it was going through all of the right channels.
Right.
And now today I watched a video from the guy that's spearheading this. His name is Ross. He posted a video called
him.
The End of Stop Killing Games, where he's giving an update on where everything's at and how...
So yeah, this guy looks kind of like an old wizard. he's the one that was working on Stop Killing Games. I petitioned myself, by the way, many months ago, and I thought the initiative was going well. I thought it was going as planned, only to turn out that I think the change in there was one thing that I was really happy about what Accursed Farms did, was the fact that this was not some sort of yeah, well, let's do, you know, let's burn Ubisoft down, and man, let's get angry at these developers. No, he wanted to do things legally. He wanted to do things by petitions. He's like, this was not what he was standing for. That's it. The end. He really cared about games. I care about games. So he wanted to do this legally through Europe, but somebody that some of us kind of know on Twitch tried to debunk what Stop Killing Games was doing, and you're not gonna like what you hear.
Oh, it's kind of at the finish line here, with a lot of failure to show for it, with only a few other chances to fight back.
You kind of
Before
slowed
getting
down.
into the weeds on the topic, I want to get this in the beginning because I imagine the vast majority of people won't watch the whole thing. I'm putting a link to the full video on Stop Killing Games, as well as a link to where you'd go to help support the Stop Killing Games initiative, because there's only a little bit of time left for the most important parts of it now that it's at the end. So if you know what the movement is and want to support it but didn't know where, the resources are in the description, or if you want to get it right from like the source, I have a link to his video. But I want to go into it myself here because it is a topic that I do feel very strongly about. But for those that don't know anything about Stop Killing Games, I'm going to let him explain it in his own words, so that way you can get an actual, correct, informed explanation of what the initiative is.
Yeah.
And the reason I say it like that, kind of like fucking all, you know,
because we want to get the words straight out of their mouth instead of him just saying it. This way we get better context of what Stop Killing Games is all about. We're actually about to see his website as well, and what he's standing for. There's a reason why Stop Killing Games has been slow to a halt, and we'll get to that in a minute.
you know, pinky out, you know, snooty, is...
By the way, if you want to know what we're talking about, basically, all those game... Perfect example. You know how there's certain games like V Rising and Scum, and you're able to rent a server and stuff like that? Like, you're able to do... Like, right now, games that are well known are, you know, they have their own servers, but sooner or later down the road, maybe you want to go back to those old games that are online and you want to play them, but you find out that they turn that shit down, so now you can't play that one game, which really does suck. That's what he's trying to eliminate. That's what we're all trying to eliminate. We're trying to have complete ownership of our game. The last thing we want to do is buy a game that we like, go through the years, come back 10, 15 years later, that game that you like, because now you're just in that area where it's just like, you know what? I don't really like the new games lately. I want to go back to my old games. Let's say, for example, you want to play Neverwinter Nights or Neverwinter Nights with your friend. You know what I mean? You want to do your own little dungeon crawling sort of thing, but you can't do it for some reason. You can't play Neverwinter Nights with your friends online. That's what we mean. The perfect example of what we're talking about is the self-preservation with GOG. If I could find it, Neverwinter Nights. You say what you want about CD Projekt Red, their thing for preservation is really, really good. Like, there we go. Like a lot of these games that I have right now, like I got Neverwinter Nights 1, 2, expanded, stuff like that. Of course, we got Pillars of Eternity, Cyberpunk. Don't worry about those games. I'm mostly talking about like this kind of game and stuff like that, where you know how you try to go on here and you try to search for games that that have been preserved, and you know now you can play the old game that you kind of miss, and then they bring it back on here, that sort of thing. So I always go on here and I try to find the game that has been lost in time, you know, that has lost support. And of course I got some new stuff in here, but it's mostly like older stuff. Yeah, like I really do like this site. They have a summer sale out right now. Of course, they have really good deals, like 80% off on Witcher 3, stuff like that. But they have a preserved good old game by GOG. So, this thing right here. Time is erasing the games that shaped you. Forgotten, incompatible, unplayable. We can fight back. Games in the program, 183 games. And these are the games like Dragon Age, Devil May Cry, Dino Crisis, games that they just stopped making, games that they don't support for like online capability. We got Heroes of Might and Magic, we got Vampire Masquerade, all these older games. We got Fallout, Deus Ex, good one, very good one. Worms, apparently a lot of people like Worms. But this is the kind of stuff that we're talking about. But anyway. Sorry, I'm very passionate about this. I'm really, really, really passionate about it. Let's keep going. Hey Craig, how you doing?
Because a lot of people don't even really know what this is because of people like Pirate Software completely misrepresenting what the initiative was.
As a refresher, Stop Killing Games is a consumer movement to stop publishers from effectively destroying video games they have already sold to customers.
I'll pause right there.
Yep.
The simplest bare bones birthday suit butt-ass naked explanation for what this is. Stop destroying things that people have paid money to own. I think that is a very understandable, very reasonable take, very agreeable. Now,
Absolutely, because has anybody ever gotten a game and you're just like, oh man, okay, I want to play this game, but you know, I want to stop right here in the middle of the game. And then for some odd reason, you want to come back to your old games, and then you go back to that game that you purchased. You didn't do anything wrong. This isn't some sort of like, oh snap, well, you know, I said a whole bunch of shit that goes against the TOS. No, you went back to that one game, you wanted to play with your friends, y'all got together and you said, you know what, man, let's go back to like fucking Command and Conquer and play some of that. You come back to that game, they shut down the servers completely. And they're just like, well, this game is only online or something like that. I know Command & Conquer you could play offline, but that's still a feature in your game. You see what I'm saying? That's still a feature in your game. Now you can't play that feature? That's what I'm talking about.
I want to quickly jump to a different spot in this video because I think it's important to have this in the beginning because it's something a lot of people have heard that comes from someone that is just wrong about it. It's the Pirate Software portion. Ross is addressing the video Pirate Software made many months ago. Ross even says that he didn't plan on doing that because he didn't want to be seen as using this for drama farming because it would start to make the movement look less of like a legitimate initiative and more of just like drama.
Perfect. Absolutely. That's fine. I completely stand for that because people want to come in and they want to support this movement to stop killing games. Everybody can agree that, especially if you're a gamer, or if we're not even talking about games. What if any product that you have and then all of a sudden you're like, hey man, I finally bought this perfect example, Switch 2. Switch 2 has a thing where Where Switch 2 could just be like, yeah, you can't use your Switch 2 anymore. There's that. Where they're just like, yeah, we cut off your Switch 2 because we thought you were doing something nefarious. He's like, I didn't do anything nefarious. I'm using your thing to preserve the games. I'm using the tool to preserve my games. Well, my bad. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Where they could just Thanos snap your fucking console. I'm not even talking about games. They could Thanos snap your fucking console and not use it?
Flop content type thing.
Jeez.
But he finally starts talking about pirate software here because it's at the end of the life cycle of this initiative and it's not looking promising, so he's willing to do anything to try and set the record straight and hopefully start getting more momentum back to the movement, because the damage pirate software did to it through his video was substantial.
This video came out right as we were building momentum. Then, except for one boost in Germany, the signatures started drying up.
Bro, is this really... Did you use this thumbnail? Did you use this thumbnail to have a conversation to debunk what Stop Killing Games is all about? Why did you make it a picture of you throwing Stop Killing Games in the trash? That can't be his thumbnail. You know what? I'm just gonna say it's not. You know what? I'm gonna make the screen bigger. So that's the thumbnail that you used. I'm just gonna pretend that you didn't do that, because that's just so low, man. Like, you could have a conversation and debate. If you made a thumbnail like this, you're dissing. You're insulting.
Up like clockwork. Thor does not understand what Stop Killing Games is. Here it is in his words.
So for those who don't understand, the Stop Killing Games initiatives is basically, we don't want single-player games to have DRM that the developers can turn off and thus render the single-player games inactive anymore. This is what they want to change. They need to be specific that they're talking about single-player games that do not need a server to support them. And as much as they want it to be about specifically games where it is a single-player game that has always online functionality, it would impact every live service game that exists. Instead of just targeting single-player, always online games.
He didn't say that.
No, that's not what it is. Stop Killing Games includes single-player games,
It's
but
not-
nothing about it is specific to them. He completely made that up, and I have no idea where he got that impression.
I don't know why he would... I mean, we literally just saw the GOG thing, right? Like I was just talking to you about. It's not only touching single-player games, but also multiplayer games. Now, we could have this discussion where we're not talking about MMOs, because MMOs are supposed to last a very long time, and, you know, it's massive. You know, there's that sort of thing where, like, it even... is it even touching MMOs? I think it is. Yeah, it's touching all games, not just MMOs. Yeah. Is there any MMOs out there? Am I able to play EverQuest right now? Does anybody know? EverQuest is an MMO, correct? I'm looking it up right now. Can I play? Yes, you can play EverQuest. It is a free-to-play with an optional subscription, massively multiplayer role-playing game that is still active and has new content being released. You can download the game for free and still playing, although a subscription can enhance the experience and grant access to the latest expanses. Download. Okay, EverQuest. Like, this is an old game. Once installed, Setup, you can launch it, consider subscription. Although the base of the game is free to play, a subscription can offer benefits such as access to the latest content. Okay, gotcha. System requirements is very, very low, of course. Okay, gotcha. Additional projects. Both live servers. Just an experience, the classic version of EverQuest's early years. Project 1999. Yeah. How is it possible to play EverQuest? No. Getting the sub was worth it 5 years ago, but I haven't been on there in like 5 years. Oh man, yeah, it's been a long time. Let me see. What's keeping EverQuest afloat? What's keeping EverQuest afloat, enduring, is a combination of factors. Dedicated player base. EverQuest has a passionate and loyal community, many of whom have been playing for years and even decades. This provides a constant player population, even if smaller than its peak, allowing for continued development and operations. Dedicated player base. Timed lock progression servers. These servers cater to players seeking a classic EverQuest experience. And then there's nostalgia and immersion. Okay, so these unique gameplay mechanics, continued development and updates. Daybreak Game Company continues to release new expansions and content, which keeps the game fresh and relevant for existing players. Okay, in summary, EverQuest remains afloat due to a combination of its enduring legacy, its dedicated community. Right there. Because of its legacy and dedicated to community. That means pretty much what Daybreak Game Company has done was made the game free, but also building upon their own community to keep the game afloat. Do you see what I mean? They're not saying, oh shit, well, since we don't have the funds, we're just gonna turn everybody's EverQuest game on that they paid for, and all those expansions that you paid for, and we're just gonna Thanos snap that, and then goodbye everybody, y'all have a good day. Nah, that's not what Daybreak Game Company did. What they did was, hey guys, we're gonna make this game free, and if we could work together, we could keep this game afloat. So they're giving the player the tools needed to keep the game afloat, which is very different from what Ubisoft is doing. Anyway, let's continue.
It's the first line on the website. Stop Killing Games is a consumer movement started to challenge.
Josh Strifehaze did an amazing video on EverQuest 1. I think I've seen that. No, his other videos. I haven't seen that one. But yeah, Josh Strifehaze, he plays that. I think, Co-Carnage did as well.
The legality of publishers destroying video games they have sold to customers.
Wait. So Stop Killing Games is a consumer movement started to challenge the legality of publishers destroying games they have sold to customers. That's it, cut and dry. He's not just talking about MMOs, he's talking about all games.
But the movement includes all this stuff from
things that Stop Killing Games campaign has done. Submit complaints to the Europe. Okay, cool. Submit a petition. Make contact with the BUC. Submit complaints. Cool. All right, that's good. Nothing nefarious. They're talking about the crew again. Yep. And they're even giving the results on the other side. Some of them were dead ends. Some of them are ongoing. Issue escalated at an agency. Decision pending. Still processing. I like the fact that he's giving information as the time goes on. Said they won't act. The ACC should be contacted instead. Said there could be a violation, but it has to be handled through the member states. Failed due to use requiring sales figures on the crew in Brazil to proceed, which we don't have. No response, but this was expected. So they're just trying their damnedest.
From earlier, and he was mostly talking about the initiative.
He didn't even get the Cliff Notes summary right.
No.
He missed all the QTEs and got the bad ending on understanding the initiative from the jump here. Ross is correct. This has nothing to do with just single-player only games that require an online connection, that when the online connection is severed, you lose access to the game.
Right.
Like, yeah, that is included in all of this, but that's not like what the whole movement is about. And for some reason, Pirate Software is stun-locked on that, like fixated as if that is the actual like meat and potatoes of Stop Killing Games. They need to be more specific in their language about it being single-player, always online connectivity games. When that's just not what it's about. Like, they're not being specific about that because that is not what they are specifically targeting. It is about the whole practice of destroying games that consumers have already purchased.
Also, here's another thing. If you're going to sell somebody a game and label it as we can just take your game away, or the game is just rental, or the game is just a license, you're not owning the game, it should say it right up in the front. You see what I'm saying? Instead of just, just gonna keep this to myself, but you don't own the game. What? You see what I mean? If you're going to do something nefarious to like, oh yeah, here's the game, also the game's gone. If you're gonna do it that way, you have to say it up front. You have to say it up front and say like, hey man, you're not gonna own this game. We can get rid of the game whenever we want. We can shut down the servers and all this sort of stuff. You have to say that up front, but they won't because money.
And having no end-of-life plans for games that are
end-of-life plans.
Sunset. So, for example, The Crew. The Crew is an example everyone is going to reference and talk about because Ubisoft is still currently in a lawsuit battling against it for what happened with this game. I've yapped about it quite a bit, so I'm not just going to regurgitate that. I'm sure a lot of you already know the story about it. But basically, you buy The Crew, Ubisoft pulls the plug on the servers, you can't play The Crew anymore, now it's just an old wet dream of what once was. And they are facing a lawsuit, and while this is in the umbrella of Stop Killing Games, it is not the only thing Stop Killing Games is referencing when it comes to this practice. Pirate Software is so hung up on it being single-player games that people lose access to, when that is a component of it, but not the entire thing. Focus.
Yeah.
Well, the short version is the initiative is about requiring publishers to have end-of-life plans for games they've sold to customers in the future. So when they shut them down, customers can continue running them without their...
Exactly what I was saying. You have to have an end-of-life plan to give, like, you either have an end-of-life plan to take care of this game that you just don't care too much about anymore, or you give the player the necessary tools to be like, okay, you want to play this game with your friends? Cool. We're going to set up some servers. You can purchase some servers, play the game with your friends, and then do that. Or you could just turn off the whole game, and then all those... And then people buying it are going to realize that they just bought a rock. They just bought a rock. You just bought that game? Yeah, sir, you just bought a rock. Congratulate. Yeah, I want to play this game. Yeah, you can't. You can't play it. Basically, they're setting everybody up to play Concord. Can anybody play Concord now? No.
Their support. So that's one thing Thor doesn't understand, but he also seems to think this is about converting multiplayer games to single player.
Transitioning an entire multiplayer server-side game into a single-player video game, which means rebalancing the entire experience around single player.
What? That's not what he's talking about. That's not what he's saying.
Rebuilding everything in the entire game. How are you going to do that with Final Fantasy XIV? You're just going to make all the raids soloable?
First of all, they already do that over there, okay? They're already making things to where you could just work along with the side companions, okay? There's a whole thing where you can just do everything solo with a setup team that is part of the main story. And then secondly, that is not what they're talking about. Wait. What do you mean? He just said what the initiative would not do. Require publishers to give intellectual property rights, require publishers to give up source codes, and require endless support. He literally just said that. He says it right there. It says it right behind him on his screen. Like I said, you remember what I said? You don't have to endlessly support this game. If you don't want to endlessly support this game, that's fine. But can you give people, the customer, the people that bought the game, that want to go to that game that they love, give them the necessary tools to be like, hey, here you go, you can play with your friends, have fun, here's some servers, if you can purchase one, go ahead, you guys can play forever, that's cool. We're not here to get the source code. We're not here to just have, you can't have intellectual property rights with any, with any video game. Nobody's saying that. I don't know why he said that. To completely change the game. I don't know why. Let's continue.
Building everything in the entire game. How are you going to do that with Final Fantasy XIV? You're just going to make all the raids soloable? Imagine the day that World of Warcraft shuts down, and suddenly you have to make it a single-player game for every individual that ever bought the game.
That's not what he's talking about. It was right behind. It was right on his screen.
That's what they're asking for.
No.
Because they would have to sunset live service games as a single-player experience. The idea that suddenly you need to make every single live service game playable single-player offline? No, dude.
Correct. No.
This part is more confusing than Finnegan's Wake, because nowhere in anything on Stop Killing Games has this even been like a talking point from anyone besides Pirate Software. I don't know where he pieced this puzzle together. Like I don't get it. Like, if I'm gonna try and like really reach here and give like a charitable explanation for this take, maybe he's extrapolating based on the idea that if publishers have to have end-of-life plans for their games, that includes MMOs, where once the game is getting sunset, you're pulling the plug on it, you would then need to turn the game over to the community in a playable state, an accessible state, like give the code to them.
It just said, let him continue, because he's probably about to say the same thing I'm about to say.
Thus, it'd turn it into a single-player experience, so the onus would be on the developers to rebalance their game to be a single-player experience for them? I guess. I have no idea. That still just doesn't make any sense, but maybe that's the tree he's barking up with that thought process. I really don't know, because Stop Killing Games at no point ever says any of these multiplayer games need to be converted to single player.
No, nobody said that.
That really is outlandish. And the more I think about it, like, the more nonsensical it becomes, because even in Pirate Software's hypothetical fanfic there, why would the developers need to rebalance the game? They would just turn over the code to the community and just it'd be in that state. They're no longer responsible for balancing the game. That's the whole point. They're not indefinitely supporting it. They would just be responsible of leaving the game in an accessible state to the community while they would shut down the servers on their end. Like, they wouldn't need to go back through with a whole development team and, like, tweak the game to be single player.
Basically, what he's trying to say is, so we don't need to take care of, we don't need to take care of this house because, we're giving it to these new people, and so we're just giving them the keys to the house. You see what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, I don't really need to take care of it. I'm giving you the keys. Oh, okay. All right. I don't have to worry about the maintenance. Pretty much. I mean, I still like this game. It's kind of janky, but I still like the game. Just hand over the keys and we'll play the game. He's like, oh, that's fine. That's cool. As long as, you know how much AAA developers love not doing work. So just hand over the keys.
Player compatible.
I don't know why he's mentioning one-player games. I don't know where he's getting that.
Doesn't make sense. Like, I don't I really do not understand that one. But apparently a lot of people latched onto that talking point from Pirate Software as something that Stop Killing Games was asking for and how unreasonable it was. Which, if that's what Stop Killing Games was asking for, it would be unreasonable.
Yeah.
But that's not what it's asking for.
Nowhere in there does it say that it's directly targeting always online single-player games.
Oh, he's so close. He's so close to getting it.
It is vague, and because of that, it will impact.
Oh, it's not vague. What?
He never has that light bulb moment. Well, he is correct in that statement. It's almost as if that's not what the initiative is asking for.
I know this part is once again just reinforcing that he doesn't know what the Stop Killing Games movement is about, but I have to just show you this because it is so fascinating, because he himself literally calls out that Stop Killing Games at no point explicitly mentions single-player always-online games or anything like that. And for some reason, instead of following the breadcrumbs that would naturally lead him to the conclusion of, oh, maybe I misunderstood, maybe because it's absent here.
Yeah, I'm looking for the moment where he's looking for the information and looking back and saying, oh, okay, my bad. And I'm like, is he looking?
That's not what this is actually about. Instead, he uses it as a criticism against the Stop Killing Games initiative entirely, saying it's just too vague, it's way too vague. The reason it is not explicitly stated there is because that is not what the whole initiative is about. It is not specifically targeting that thing that you keep saying that it is.
Yeah, he's really focused on the one play. What is up with Pirate Software's ego? Am I the only one notice? No, I can't be the only. It's almost like, let's keep going, because it feels like he's just trying to avoid the conversation in its entirety. It's like encountering somebody that likes to talk but never likes to listen.
I don't know how that never clicked.
But those were his streams with a smaller audience. What does he say in his big YouTube video with over 1 million views that he had time to research?
If we're trying to kill off the practice of developers putting together a live service game, pitching it as a single-player experience, and then taking away support in the future.
That's not what he's...
Now he's changed it again and is making up how it's about single-player games are advertised. What is he doing?
It needs to be specific about the business practice it's trying to defeat, which is specifically companies that are doing this under the guise of it being a single-player game, but adding online-only functionality that is not necessary and doesn't add any gameplay elements. That's the problem.
No, that's not it at all.
This is a really strong section from Ross here, because the clips that you saw moments ago were from his stream. When he took more time to watch it and digest it, he still came back in that video misrepresenting it. Like, it never dawned on him. Like, on stream, he could write it off as like, oh, he didn't grasp it in the moment, maybe later on he did. Well, then he made the video where he still was talking about things that are just not what Stop Killing Games was about, and this was the one that really blew up and really started to kind of dismantle the Stop Killing Games momentum.
So pretty much everybody just went up to Pirate Software and he's like, oh yeah, that's... okay, so Stop Killing Games is trash. Okay, yeah, I won't support it. I wouldn't say particularly he is a well-known like streamer on Twitch. I guess with a certain amount of pull, people could see that and be a little disjointed about Stop Killing Games, but I wouldn't say... I guess word of mouth from what Pirate Software was saying, where people just flat out just agreed with him without looking at the facts. I don't want to say that that's the reason why it slowed down, but you know what I think it did? I think it slowed it down, but not quickly. It didn't stop the initiative of Stop Killing Games to an entire halt. I think it took months for it to realize, oh shit, Stop Killing Games is not going anywhere because people really don't believe in the initiative anymore. It could help, but it's not Pirate Software. I don't think I'm gonna put every blame on Pirate Software when it comes to like, oh shit, the reason why Stop Killing Games isn't working is because of Pirate Software. No, but he is a part of it, but no.
If we don't like the idea of live service games as a whole, I get it. Don't play live service games then. Don't agree to those terms.
No, he's getting a new thing wrong
What?
now.
What is he talking about? We're not talking about
We're not against them existing.
Yeah.
We're against them being destroyed with no recourse for the customer.
Perfect example. What happens when Rainbow Six Siege? What happens when Rainbow Six Siege, or no, let's think of another game. No, what Rainbow Six Siege is widely known. Let's just say it's been another 30 plus years of Rainbow Six Siege, but there's been a multitude of new games coming out after Rainbow Six Siege. A whole bunch of different games came out, but it's 30 plus years and people have forgotten about Rainbow Six Siege. Okay, we're not saying that we don't want the live service games. What we're saying is, can we keep, because you cannot play Rainbow Six Siege if the servers are down. If it's not being supported, you're not holding a video game. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about.
Pirate Software then goes on to talk about like the business practice of misleading consumers into thinking that what they're buying is a product as opposed to a license to a product, which is a totally separate thing. And then he criticizes Stop Killing Games for not being specific about that thing that he is bringing up, as opposed to what Stop Killing Games is talking about. So he's using that against them for some reason. And then Ross goes into like the license talk.
Our problem is not with licenses failing to inform people. Blizzard says they can take away your purchase for no reason.
You remember when I was talking about Switch 2? You remember when I was talking about Switch 2? You remember that? Blizzard reserves the right to terminate this agreement at any time for any reason, or for no reason, with or without notice to you. It's like, if you're getting a Blizzard game, you might as well just be playing the game of Twitch. Oh, you want to play that new Blizzard game? Do you like Twitch? No? That's basically what a Blizzard game is. They'll ban you out of fucking nowhere with no notice. That's what Blizzard is.
That sounds pretty clear to me. Our problem is those terms are so hostile to consumers and the medium that they should be taken off the table entirely.
Yes, take it off. Absolutely.
This needs regulation. Forget video games. If you look at basic commerce for hundreds of years, when you paid money, you either got to keep what you paid for.
Oh, thank God he's talking about this.
Or if it was a service, you were told when your access ends.
That's it. That's it. That's all it is. Like I told you before, am I paying for a fucking rental service? I just bought this game. Is this a rental? It's like, oh yeah, after a while, this game's gonna, if this game doesn't do well, you know, it's just gonna be gone. Are we gonna return your money? No, not really.
The vast majority of
most online only video games, customer keeps nothing. Customer is not informed upfront when access will end. Absolutely. Absolutely, and it fucking sucks. It absolutely sucks. You'll come back to that game and you'll realize that there's nothing. There's nothing coming back.
Online only games do neither of those.
He's exactly right. That is a huge problem. Now, Pirate Software is correct here about the...
Like I said before, you either keep the product and you can play the product, and then there's the option to be like, oh, well, we're letting you know ahead of time that this thing is not going to be, you know, here for a while. But, and then there's the third one where it's just like, oh, well, we will give you the tools to keep your game, and, you know, you can have your own server and play the game for however long you want. When Blizzard comes out and says, oh, there's no reason for you to keep the game, you know, that sounds like a legal issue. It sounds like a huge legal issue, or you could just come back home and realize you can't play your game. You remember when I was talking about Switch 2?
These companies that will mislead consumers through this fraudulent advertising on what you're actually buying, because in a lot of cases, you don't own any of the shit that you're buying.
Mm-hmm.
It is pretty much a rental. You get a permission slip to access the content.
Yeah.
That is an issue, and not making it abundantly clear to consumers that that is what you are buying is a problem. And so too is the actual agreements, as Ross demonstrates with Blizzard, where it says they can just completely terminate it for no reason at all.
Not only because I know a lot of people go through video games and then they give you that agreement thing that everybody goes through, where they just hit the button to agree and understand and stuff like that. You remember, you know, those when you play a game and it just gives you that disclaimer agreement and then you just hit agree. Well, when you flood people with a whole bunch of text, people aren't gonna read it, so you incentivize them to just click that button and hit agree. You do not pop right up there on the top of the screen, you do not own this game, and also we could shut this game off whenever we want. Right up at the top with bold red letters with a fucking shader on the back. They don't do that. They put that shit all the way at the fucking bottom, bruh.
It really does go against the basic idea of commerce entirely. Video games are in a totally different ball game when it comes to that, because half the time you don't realize that you're just buying an admission ticket to a game. You're not actually buying the game.
Yep.
You also don't know how long that's going to last.
Nope.
Again, to go back to Concord, that shit lasted less than fucking,
8 days. It lasted 8 days.
Fucking rainstorm, basically. Like, there is just so many problems. So I don't know why Pirate Software would be so harsh on Stop Killing Games for not addressing specific things that he himself is bringing up or making up in regards to it. It just doesn't compute. It really is a video that did significant damage to an actually positive initiative that aimed to help consumers in the video game space.
Right.
All based on his complete misrepresentation of it, which was a complete mess.
If you try to tell me that every studio needs to run their live service game indefinitely or not want to run one at all, then no one's going to run them.
Oh,
no. That's not what... Hold on. It's not what they're trying to say. What they're trying to say is... That's not what he's trying to say. If I was going to deliver a game that was like a survival game, what I would do is I would provide... Go to V Rising. I got the game V Rising. It's a vampire survival game. What they have for V Rising is you're able not only to play offline, you're also able to play online with friends on V Rising's own servers, or you can make your own servers. So now you have 3 ways to play your game that is online. Offline, via V Rising servers, or your own server that you can own or rent. Perfect. That's it. Now, let's just say sooner or later this whole game's just gonna shut down. Let's say this game called Crazy Survival Horror Simulator. Crazy Survival Horror Simulator is a great game, but it's been a while, and the development team doesn't want to fucking support the game. It's a crazy game, but they got another game coming out soon, and they don't want to support their old game. Well, motherfucker, did you say that you're going to do that for your first game? Did you say up in bold letters, hey, there's a, I mean, that you're gonna shut down the game, your old game, whenever? Perfect example. Dune Awakening is by the same developers that did Conan Exiles. They would have to come up and be like, hey, Conan Exiles, our old game, we're gonna shut that down. So play Dune Awakening, go ahead and buy that. Cheers, guys. Nah, that's not how it works, man. You have to give people the option to be like, okay, you can do your own servers. We wanted to let you know beforehand when you bought Conan Exiles in the beginning, or just don't do that at all. That'd be great. There has to be an incentive to take care of your customers because they paid for the game. But that it has been seen time and time again that these developers will just throw away their game. And if they're not throwing away their games, they're getting rid of you.
No! He wheeled out that line about publishers having to support the game forever. He was literally watching the video earlier where it says it won't do that.
What this initiative would not do is require endless support. You remember what I said when I said, okay, you're not going to support the game anymore? Give us the incentive to let us support the game, just like EverQuest. EverQuest is a good example. Give us the incentive, give us the tools that we need to take care of the game while you're gone, while you go bye-bye. That's it. That's it. There's no, oh shit, support the game endlessly for all time. No. All we're saying is you either do two things. You either let us keep the game, or you give us the tools to be like, hey man, just letting you know before you start this game for the first time, this game could be gone out of nowhere. Just letting you know, just bold red letters, this game could be gone at any time. Poof, right there at the top. They won't do that shit. They'll be like, listen, just like Blizzard, we could just shut your game off.
In big letters. That wasn't enough. We just can't stop gamers from going there, even when we spell it out.
That's the last clip I want to show from this section on the Pirate Software video, but it's a very important one because this is something a lot of people also think the Stop Killing Games initiative is about, where developers, publishers will have to support their games forever.
Yeah.
Like, until the fucking heat death of the universe, they'll have to support these games under the initiative.
I'll be honest, if you're fucking with me, if you've made the game horrible, like let's say you're playing a game and even though the game is great, the developers have had bad patches. You know what I mean? There's some games out there with bad patches and bad hotfixes, and you're like, why did you break this? This was just fine. The next patch brings new stuff, but it patches some new stuff, but it breaks the old stuff, and you're like, why did you do this? And by the time that they're like, you know what, we're done with the game. I forgot what that game was. I think it was Non-Human. I think it was another survival game. But basically, I'm just like, you know what? I don't want you to support the game anymore because you suck at supporting this game. Just give us the tools to be like, you know what? We can put servers on this game. You could just leave us alone and make your next game or take your money that you took from us and buy yourself a yacht or something like that. Just give us the tools to rent some servers and piss off. You know what I mean?
When that is not the case, it is very simply asking that when the game has reached the end of its life cycle, the publishers, developers don't want to work on it any longer, to turn it over to the community to still be in a playable, accessible state so the product can still exist.
Exactly.
There is some more nuance, obviously, to how that works, given, like, publisher developer licensing and a lot of like the code, the binary, that kind of thing. There is a lot at play under the hood there, of course, but it is something that Stop Killing Games isn't naive to, and it is something that is talked about. But I'm not going to dive too deep into it. I encourage you to check more in on it. But this whole belief that it is about endlessly supporting a live service game, even when it makes no sense to do so and it's beyond dead and in the dirt, is ridiculous, because that is not what it is asking for. And a lot of people think that it is. It's not. Pirate Software got that wrong as well. Anyway, I'll stop yapping about it, but as mentioned in the beginning, most of Stop Killing Games hasn't been successful in getting change. And Ross has dedicated so much of his life to this, and it's clearly taken a big toll. Now he's doing everything he can for this last ditch push to try and help. And there are two big things coming up that can do so. And it's what I linked at the very beginning of the at the very beginning of the video about the resources in the description. It's in regards to this.
One is for the UK to sign a government petition to bring this issue before Parliament.
Right.
Though, keeping it real, I'm not terribly optimistic about this one, since the government response has been a mess by every definition. But the one that has a lot of power, so much so I think it could change the course of gaming history, is the European Citizens Initiative. Now, I said I'm approaching this like a time traveler because with the trajectory we're on, these are both going to fail. Again, this one is crazy powerful, but the hurdle we just couldn't get past was that it requires 1 million signatures from citizens of EU countries. And we've only made it just under halfway.
From citizen UK. So my petition wouldn't help. You would have to be, you know, UK and all that stuff. Man, that sucks, man. So okay, gotcha.
What a lot of people don't realize is that in the EU especially, it's almost a state of lawlessness regarding the practice of game destruction. Is that the vast majority of games with an online requirement say they can be terminated at any time for any reason.
There it is again. There it is again. He's like, hey man, we could just disappear. The termination thing should be this term. I bet you this thing that he's showing me right now, this terms of service, this termination area, this thing that he highlighted should be at the very top, but they won't do it because they know it goes against the law.
Blizzard likes to say any or no reason. But according to the EU Commission, that might be a violation of Directive 93/13 EEC.
Directive 93/13 EEC prohibits unfair terms causing a significant imbalance in the parties' rights and obligations to the determinant of customers. Terms such as those related to the unilateral modification or termination by the trader of a contract of indeterminate duration without reasonable notice may be deemed unfair, subject to a case-by-case assessment. You got something here.
C, which protects consumers against unfair terms and consumer contracts.
Basically, these motherfucking developers are snake oil salesmen. That's what they are. They're just like, hey, come on, kids, come on down and come play this. Hey, play this game. Oh, this game's so good. What is it like? Oh, you could do so many things with this game. He's like, oh man, how many hours are in the game? Oh, there's thousands of hours in this game. That's great. He's like, this seems like a good game that I might play for the rest of my life. Yeah. And then when the kid comes back after like a couple of weeks to find that snake oil salesman, he gone. He's just like, hey, I can't play my game. That snake oil salesman is gone.
So if that term is unfair, that means that part of the contract is null and void.
He goes on to explain how powerful that can be because of what a mess that is. Because there is so much gray area with how the video games currently operate in regards to those protections, it would be a legal headache that would require an analysis of the laws or implementation of new laws that could lead to, hopefully, an improvement when it comes to gaming. So the big hurdle was the signatures, needing 1 million, and currently it's at like 460,000, so it doesn't reach the threshold. I've been very vocal from the very beginning about how little faith I have in petitions, but that's just from the perspective of an American. In America, petitions are more worthless than toilet paper. You're better off just writing what you want on a note to Santa Claus and shipping it to the North Pole than you are doing anything with a petition in this country.
He's right. Oh my god, he's right. Oh my gosh. He's right. I
don't know how different it is in the EU. Maybe it really is this powerful there that could lead to substantial change and improvement when it comes to games and preservation and all of what we've already talked about. Hopefully, I mean, that's really all that's left for the Stop Killing Games initiative, which sucks, but that's the position that it's in, unfortunately. And I wanted to talk about it because I really want to see something change with the games industry.
Yeah.
I've said that so many times recently, but it's in such a sorry state. I mean, I'm talking big budget AAA space. Indies, I think, are absolutely crushing it. Absolutely golden right now.
Abso-fucking-lutely. AA and indie games are crushing it. And you know what? Good.
On the golden age of indie games, but
that's because Jeff Keighley keeps on coming out. Oh man, we've seen so many great games. Look at the list of games that are not AAA. And I'm like, yeah, Jeff. Yeah.
Overall, in the big budget games and the way the industry keeps pushing things, it sucks. So
it really does.
I wanted to talk about Stop Killing Games here. Hopefully things can turn around and maybe a huge W's around the corner for the Stop Killing Games initiative. We'll see. But anyway, I want to commend Ross for his hard work spearheading all of this for so long. And that's really about it.
That's a really good video. That's a really good video. I'm going to share this with you guys, and I'll also share the initiative as well. Here you guys go. That's the video, and to support the initiative, if you're in the EU, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is where what they just said is they need petitions that are in. It looks like you can select any nationality, but they need stuff that are in the Whoa! He said 400, and they've already passed half. Yo! They've already passed. They said 400,000. He's at 500,000. Yo, this video it reached 2 million people. That's good. That's good. Let me send this off to you guys. Let me copy this. So if you're in the EU, you know, help a brother out. Here you go. I send it to your way. And it looks like he also pinned something. This is Ross right here. And he said, right here, thanks a ton for telling people about this. If this isn't enough to get people to pay attention, I'm not sure what will. For anyone who doesn't want to watch my long video about it, the European Citizens Initiative would bring it before the EU to require publishers to start. I think that's what he needs to do. He needs to find an editor. He needs to find an editor that does his videos, because if they're long form, bro, you might as well be having my channel. I do long ass videos. You might as well be doing my, I might as well be your editor. Find an editor that can make the videos about 15 to 20 minutes, and you might have something. So you wouldn't be left with nothing once they end support. All the focus is on the EU since the laws in the US are too locked down on this, but not elsewhere. If companies were required to have end-of-life plans for their games, people in the US would get the benefits downstream. That's very true, very true. Similar to how Australia suing Valve over not having refunds led to people having them globally. Yeah, that was kind of bullshit, Valve. Listen, Valve does great things, but they ain't all that great. Also, as others have pointed out, it's much more powerful than a petition. EU... That's my phone, sorry. EU regulators would be required to respond to this. So, people in the EU, that's you? Yeah. Shamer right now is too busy, you know, doom scrolling about the EU. But it would be great if he petitioned for stop killing games right now and do something about it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right, let's go over to the next one. Let's. Ooh, Coco. I think there's an ambient. Okay. Okay, nah. I'm in the UK, not the EU. Same thing. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Let's see what we got. Yeah, see, put that awesome video. I think he did. Okay, we're gonna let that one slide. That's fine right there. Oh man, it's good to see you all. Hope everybody's having a good day. I've been dying to play some Owlcat video games, but I know I'm playing Pillars and I know I'm playing Mass Effect. We're probably gonna play a lot of Mass Effect tonight, so bear in mind for that. Appreciate y'all being here. Okay. Trying to make sure that I'm setting this up correctly for the next one. This one is related to Tomb Raider. I'm actually kind of excited because this is actually good news for once. Looking around. Okay. That should be fine. I'll leave you right here. It's perfectly fine by me. Do I got all the info? Yeah, I'm good. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about this one. Let's see what we got here, because I've been wanting to talk about this. This was related to Tomb Raider, and I've been kind of down and sad about Tomb Raider because feminist white Karens keep on fucking up Tomb Raider the way she's supposed to be portrayed. She's supposed to be raiding tombs like she's supposed to and looking hot while doing it. But you remember that Netflix show that came out with Lara Croft, and she had a gay girlfriend and she kept on crying all the time? Yeah, that show got canceled. But there was also a tabletop game called Tomb Raider, The Shadows of Truth. I wonder what the fuck that truth is. It's like, your truth, maybe. There's only the truth. Let's be honest. But anyway, this is Mr. Hardcore Mode here, where nothing is easy, bringing you another hard rant pertaining to Tomb Raider. And this was probably one of the top 10 wokest shit that I've seen in the last, like, 2 years. And they were trying to make a tabletop game with, I mean, just look at the art style. That doesn't even look like Lara Croft. And then we got the one fat Samoan dude. We remember him from the video game. I mean, he's alright. He's fine. But we also have these other characters in here. And if you look behind you, there's a black paraplegic lady that has no legs. And she uses a crossbow. And she's got pink hair. And I'm over here just like, what the fuck kind of game do you got us playing here? So there's been a few things that that this feminist agenda has been pissed off about. One, they didn't like the fact that this white woman was hot because, you know, Karens are fucking ugly. They're fat, they're disgusting, their teeth are all fucked up. I mean, this is just how it is. You know, white women hating, the white on white crime has been so high, but it's not physical. It's always mental with these kind of freaks. And so this Tomb Raider game, this tabletop game, was supposed to come out, and it was supposed to like change the norms of how Lara Croft does things, where, you know, she should repent for stealing stuff from other cultures, which doesn't make sense because not only does she take things, but she also returns things to the museum as well. And she looks good doing it. They hate the fact that she's hot, and they hate the fact that this white woman is just taking stuff. That's what they don't like. They just want to rewrite history all over again. These fucking weirdos. But some good news. This whole thing has been canceled. They flew too close to the progressive sun. This whole tabletop thing is scrapped. Scratchpoint Z says the Tomb Raider tabletop RPG by Evil Hat has been canceled due to creative differences. What took you so long? With Crystal Dynamics. Between the high quality characters, you know what they were fighting for? They were fighting with, it was probably too many political ideologies in one room that they couldn't control. It's like watching them eat themselves apart, because I really don't fuck with any Crystal Dynamics bullshit. They've been having layoffs after layoffs in Crystal Dynamics, so I'm not touching their game. Between the high quality character designs, sensitivity consultants, you have sensitivity consultants for a Tomb Raider game, and prolific writers, it's just so difficult to imagine what could have possibly gone wrong here. Well, let's see what the hell is going on. Well, there's that for one instance. Like, what the hell is this? It's like you're making fun of black people, fat people, and people on wheelchairs. It's like you made this and you said, yeah, let's offend everybody. Okay, so anyway, I think this is in LinkedIn. Originally announced in February 2024, Evil Hat Publishing has just announced that the official Tomb Raider TTRPG has been canceled. Sad news, we're canceling the Tomb Raider, sad for you, Tomb Raider RPG project. Due to creative differences, we couldn't get our vision to gel with the licensors, so we've been chosen to part ways. The stellar team designing this game put their hearts into making this an exciting, dynamic RPG of adventure and exploration. Yeah, you say all this, but I mean, I'm reading what you're saying. I mean, if you got canceled, I'm pretty sure there was a lot of... Usually when stuff like this gets canceled out of nowhere, it didn't end on a bad note. It didn't end like, oh, we did our best, we had a fancy team. I mean, this is just PR talk, but I'm pretty sure there was screaming involved. There was a lot of yelling involved. We're proud of the work they've done, and we plan to retool the project as a standalone game with a fresh original setting. You haven't seen the last of it. We have. We have. They say this a lot, like, oh, we're not done yet. It's PR talk for, yeah, we're done. We're done. An official Tomb Raider RPG was originally announced by the Square Enix in 2021 for the 25th anniversary of the property's 2023's Lara Croft Mark of the Phoenix, released as a PDF on the Crystal Dynamics website. Get rid of Crystal Dynamics. The Evil Hat version was announced in February 2024 as a full-color hardback book. The plan was to allow you to play Truth Seekers, allies and contemporaries of Lara Croft, who Indiana Jones out hidden artifacts for the benefit of good. So, let me tell you something about Lara Croft real quick. Lara Croft don't work with nobody. She has an informant and that's it. She does everything mostly alone. She's a badass woman with an ass and a pair of tits, and she just takes what she wants, and that's about it. That's pretty much, there's some lore to it between her and her father, but that's pretty much it. This is just changing culture. This is not, there's no, oh shit, we like Lara Croft. No, this is, oh shit, she's a fucking problem. That's what this is. That's why they're called Truth Seekers. Because, do you think Tomb Raider goes out here being called Truth Seekers? No, she fucking doesn't do that shit. Are you serious right now? Shit, what? Anyway, to mirror the nuance of Crystal Dynamics' evolution of the character and her world, Nejati and their writing team, which includes Evil Hat's Hicks and Sean Nittner, sensitivity consultant Pam Panzalan. Oh, this is so diverse. This is the diversity we definitely need. As well as an author and game designer, April Kit Walsh, Thirsty Sword Lesbians. You hired somebody from a group called Thirsty Sword Lesbians. You know, you miss the days when you would just go to work and nobody knew your sexual preference? I miss those. Built the core of the game around a discrete set of player actions called moves. At the center of each move isn't a number or a bonus to hit, but a question that once answered will add to a player's growing dice pool. Those at the table will have to grapple with the answers to those questions no matter how the dice happen to fall. That is the most fucking boring game I've ever fucking heard. It is Lara Croft. She is the only fucking Tomb Raider. You think she's out here talking and having questions? No. Not even, I mean, maybe Nathan Drake, but not Lara Croft. You see what I'm saying? And there's no bonus to hit? You mean we're not even hitting anybody? We're asking questions? What kind of questions? Should we be stealing from the African tribe? This is the reason why you fell. This is the reason why you fell. I see where the creative differences was happening. You thought this was fun. That's the funny thing is, you came in and was like, I don't fucking know how to do anything, but I do know how to change people's minds. You thought people coming in were gonna come in and say like, oh man, I can't wait to come in and play the tabletop game Tomb Raider Seekers of Truth and you know, I don't know, figure out, you know, how to properly talk to, you know, the Native Americans and, you know, how to wrap a turban and shit. No, that's not what Tomb Raider is about. It's like, what? How to apologize to an old tribe for taking their relics? Is that what we're doing? No, we come in for Lara Croft. That's the Tomb Raider, not the Tomb Questioner. The Tomb Raider, the Tomb Consultant, the Tomb Therapist. Oh my gosh, they lost the fucking. No, it's like, we're not done yet. Evil Hat banned me for criticizing their female character in a wheelchair on a submarine in the third-party supplement Deep Dark Blue. No wheelchairs exist on an extensively cross-braced, cramped submarines. But you know, representation... Ooh, this is insane. This is crazy. Now, here's another thing. Let's stop talking about them, because I think it's really cool that there's a Tomb Raider community that wants to go back to the old school ways. This is Antonis Croft, and this is they're making a message to all Tomb Raider community. Lara Croft isn't just a character, she's a symbol. I mean, that's very true. She deserves her crown. It's like hashtag save Lara Croft. Very true. Where she should be looking like this. Very feminine, very good looking. Of course, she has some muscle. She out there working. But she's supposed to look attractive. This is how she's supposed to look. Now, this is what he wrote. Exclaiming Lara Croft, a call to the community, because they've been fucking up Lara Croft for a very long time. I think since 2013. There was a time when the very name Lara Croft stood for more than just a video game character. You remember when IGN had a whole bunch of half-naked pictures of Lara Croft and they were like, yo, bro, Lara Croft, bro, did you see that one picture of Lara Croft with only panties on and no bra? Bro, that was sick, bra. And now we got IGN looking like, sir, daddy, chill. That's the new IGN now. That back then IGN was cool. Now IGN's just like, stop it. This is harmful to women. Nah, fuck all that shit. Anyway, let's return to this. Stood for more than just a video game character. She was iconic, fierce, intelligent, unapologetically confident. She embodied a unique blend of strength, elegance, danger, and charisma. Her design wasn't just about looks, it was a statement. She was a woman who could outgun, outthink, and outlast anyone. Unless you encountered the fucking mountain lions and then you got your head ripped off. I mean, but that didn't happen to me. Anyway, while maintaining a mythic, untouchable premise, but over the years, Lara Croft has slowly lost her essence. What made her legendary has been diluted, her blood confidence softened, her visual identity made more generic, her personality restrained under the guise of realism and relatability. Yeah, that sounds fun. The powerful silhouette, the self-assured smirk, the sense of adventure that was larger than life, all gradually stripped away. She becomes just another survivor in a sea of post-apocalyptic trauma stories. And with that, the symbol that Lara once was is fading into something less extraordinary. We cannot stand by as one of gaming's most influential, by the way, do you think we come to video games to fucking understand people? No, we come to kill and take shit. That's why we play video games. We're here to escape. And you think you can come over to me and lecture me on Lara Croft being like, oh, Lara Croft with big titties? No, no, no. She's got to have a man jaw. No, no, no. You fuck off. We cannot stand by as one of gaming's most influential icons is reshaped into something forgettable. Last one. This isn't about resisting change, it's about preserving identity. Evolution is natural, but it must be rooted in essence, not erasure. We, as a community, fans, artists, writers, creators, need to speak up. We must protect the legacy of Lara Croft and push for a version of her that remembers why she became a legend in the first place. Very true. Let's reignite the conversation. Let's demand respect for the character that inspired millions. Respect has been a very, respect. I missed that word. Does anybody miss that word? I think I missed that word. You missed that word? Let's show the industry that Lara Croft is not just a figure to be reimagined endlessly, but a legacy to be honored. Lara Croft deserves better, and we have the power to make that known. I say well done to that, absolutely. And I completely agree, because we're missing the same thing with Master Chief, the same thing with Marcus from Gears of War, the same thing with Kratos. I miss the old Kratos. How about you? We're missing those iconic characters that we know and love. A perfect example, you remember when Joel and Ellie were actually interesting? Now they've been fucked with? That's the same thing, man. Same exact fucking thing. And I miss it. Laura wasn't just beautiful, she was strong, she had power and money, and was brave and courageous, and good morals and business filled with less nice people. Yeah, very true, very true. It's just sad to see. We need the old Lara Croft back ASAP. And the faster that these people let go of Lara Croft, the better. We give it to somebody else. Anyway. And her backstory was that she got off from surviving a deadly plane crash. That's pretty metal. It is fucking metal as fuck, dude. Fucking metal as fuck. Damn. Damn, that sucks. Damn, that sucks. We got more stuff to talk about, but I'm gonna take a break real quick. I'm gonna take a break. I need some water. Water. Put you right here. That's fine. Give me a second. Let me get some water. Are you fucking kidding me? You have got to be kidding me. There's no fucking way we are still talking about this. Oh, chat, here we go again. Here we go again. Well, we're still talking about fucking Veilguard again. Here we go.
Spectacularly like Dragon Age the Veilguard, you just need to take the L and move on. You need to realize that it's not going to get any better if you make any statements.
Yeah, just let, listen, the customer has spoken. Just stop embarrassing yourself. Just stop.
You're not going to win any more fans to your side, and ultimately you're just giving people more material to meme on you with, and that is exactly what is happening, because now the writers of Dragon Age the Veilguard are refuting Jason Schreier's sloppy reporting, and they're saying they made the best game they could have. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the
you saw how she rolled her eyes right there? You saw that shit? Alright, Vera, let's go.
Topic. If you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live.
Why are y'all Jason Schreier talking to who? Brian J. Audit? Why are you all on Blue Sky? What the fuck? Get off Blue Sky.
Streams and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, we know that this game was a spectacular failure, and what is even worse is that it's not just one single bad game in a series. This has killed Dragon Age. I don't see a way that they are going to make another Dragon Age game, at least.
You're gonna have to rip that out of your mind. There's no more Dragon Age. Just let it go. Listen, I let it go a long time ago. And I was thinking to myself, man, I was daydreaming like, yo, what if I got Dragon Age? And I was like, nah, that's not how it works. It's not how it... Somebody said Blue Skies for Didlets.
anytime over the next, I don't know, 10 or 15 or 20 years, because this took a decade to make, and that sucks for all of the fans.
Yeah, like 10 plus years, and I don't know how much money. I think it was over 300 million. Good lord. I'm sorry, 300 million in 10 plus years? You can't, you just suck at making video games. This is no like, yo, Mass Effect is gonna be way better, bro. 10 plus years, $300 million. Just stop. Bro, just stop. It's like, oh, they made us make a multiplayer game. You should have told them, no, we're not gonna make a multiplayer game. As simple as that. It's as simple as that. Don't tell me your publisher's like, oh, you gotta make a no, you could have disputed that. Just let it go. So you could have disputed it, but you didn't.
This franchise had, but on the flip side, I would rather them not make any new content than continue the franchise forward and make bad content.
This is what BioWare should do from now on. They should just make new IPs so they can show a new part of BioWare. That way, when they have a new IP from BioWare, it separates the new fans from the old fans. Because the old fans like us, we're just like, yeah, Inquisition and you know, Mass Effect, you know, pretty much those are the games that we cherish. We don't give a fuck about Anthem, whatever. This new age BioWare, just make new IPs. Don't touch Mass Effect anymore. You don't have Mass Effect. You don't have Dragon Age. Hell, don't even touch what? Didn't you guys used to touch like Star Wars? Stop it. Just stop it. Just brand new IP. Just stop.
Content. I don't want them to continue to do a terrible job, and unfortunately for Veilguard, it did not do good in any single way. It didn't make a lot of money, it didn't get a lot of good reviews. It's not like it had a small niche audience who absolutely loved it, like a cult following. There was nothing positive about the situation at all whatsoever, but now the writers are doubling down on this game, which I understand. When you are a creative, you're putting a lot of time and work and effort into something, and you get very close to it. You want people to see it the way you did. You want them to love it, but that doesn't mean that it's instantly going to happen. And in this case, it hasn't happened, you know, months and months and months on, and it just seems that they're very salty over the fact that this game failed and they faced a lot of backlash over it, and now they're just saying that they made the best game they could have, which is insane to think of.
Bro, the best, you're not a gamer. I'm sorry, you're not a gamer. You're not a game developer. Just choose a different job. Just use 10 plus years, $300 million. Just you're not a game developer. Do your own thing at an indie development company. You let it go. You're not good at making video games. Just let it go. It's fine.
When you have had 10 years and hundreds of millions of dollars to make a game, you should be able to come up with something better than this. So Brian said, reposting without comment, except I refute that we made a bad or compromised game. We made the best version of what we released, warts and all. I'm damn proud of it and the team. We couldn't have made a better Dragon Age, only a...
He's right. He's right. No, he's right. We couldn't have made a better Dragon Age. He's right. Only a different one? No, he's right. He couldn't have made a better Dragon Age. He's right. Absolutely. You're just straight up garbage. And that's it. If Veilguard was a new IP, I might have been as hard. Might not have been as harsh and a tiny bit more forgiving. But this was called Dragon Age and never once felt like the previous games. Absolutely, a lot of people have said the same thing too.
different one. Maybe that's what you should have done. Maybe from the very beginning you should have realized this wasn't going to turn out well for you, that this isn't what your fans would have wanted. This is a problem with the activists that are in the gaming industry right now, is that they're not worried about making products for other people. They're worried about making products for the small friend group that they have and for their activist ilk, and that is not a successful strategy at this point. Sure, you need to love what you are creating and you need to feel passionate about what you're creating, but at the end of the day, you're not the one buying the game. It's your fans, it's your customers that are buying the game, and if you're not making something they want to support, you're not going to.
Somebody in chat just said, I make a better Dragon Age every time I head for the toilet. Finally. That's a good joke.
Money. And while they can sit here and say that, oh, we couldn't have made a better Dragon Age game, all they're really doing is admitting that they are trash at their jobs and that they should have never had gotten hired for that job in the first place. Like, this is not some big W statement. And of course, Trick Weeks ended up reposting this because he is somebody who's gotten raked across the coals and was a major individual in this situation that got blamed for its failure. And
I was so lucky to get the chance to work with you, man. Cannot wait to see what you make next. Likewise. Both y'all, bro, when I look at my garbage and I see a banana peel talking to some old moldy ketchup, I'm just like, anyway, I need to take this to the trash. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. When a banana peel in your fucking trash can is talking to some old ass sardines saying, bruh, we're about to get out of this trash can and they're gonna use us, and, bro, we're gonna be useful, bro. And I just close up that trash can and I'm just like, you guys are funny. And I just throw the trash away. It's like, it's like watching two people that are last at a race say like, bro, I can't wait until I'm in 10th place. And the other guy's just like, I can't wait until I reach 11th place. And I'm like, bro, you both, you know what? Let him go. All right, I'm only looking for good developers now.
He said, I was so lucky to get the chance to work with you, man. I cannot wait to see what you make next. And Brian said likewise, which I personally, as a customer, am not excited to see what either of these people make next.
I am excited to watch both of these gentlemen not be in my purview. I am so excited. I can't wait until I hear about their game 2 years later and be like, oh, you guys made a game? Oh, it didn't do too well? Oh, I didn't even know you made a game. Anyway, I'm over here playing this and that. I'm over here playing Expedition 33. I'm over here. It's like that's what I want. I want to never hear their names ever again. As soon as I hear about them, I want to hear about the fact that they were never noticeable to begin with. That's what I want.
Next, or really what anybody on this team is going to make next, because they just did such a bad job. It is crazy. And sure, there are always a few good apples in every bunch. When you have a team of, let's just say for argument's sake, 100 developers, at least 5, maybe 10 of them are genuinely passionate. They keep their head down when they're working. They don't want to cause drama. They just want to make games.
There's always that one person or a couple people that are just like, hey guys, I got some good ideas. Sorry, that's for me. I got some good ideas for a video game. It's like, I got some good ideas for Dragon Age. And then they just shoo it off because it's like, it's not what we're looking for. And then it's not what we're looking for. And then the game fails and you're just like, man, I'm pretty sure like my ideas would have been fucking better. I hope that the developers that actually had good ideas that were thrown away. Perfect example. You remember when we saw the art book because of Shamer? Thank you for that. You remember when we saw the art book? Like the team that had the good ideas were in the front page. They were the front page had so many good ideas. And the last few pages was Veilguard. And I was like, what the fuck? It was like watching BioWare transform in slow motion. You read and look at the art book of Dragon Age, and the first few pages, you're like, yo, this is cool. This is awesome. Yo, this is really cool. And then when you get in the middle, you're just like, what's happening? What's happening? What's going on? And you get the derpiest fucking ugly ass characters, and you're like, what the fuck? What happened? You had it. It's like watching your own child like fucking wreck at baseball, and then he doesn't run the bases. You're like, bro, my kid hit it all the way to third. Oh my god, that was a nice hit, son. And he's over there standing at home plate holding the bat. I'm like, son, what are you doing? Run to first base. Oh yeah, that's basically what it was. I was like, it's like, yo, good job, kid. What are you doing just standing there? What are you doing? He's like, oh yeah.
But they are dragged down by the activists who go on social media and screech, and by the people who are forcing their own personal political beliefs into the content.
True.
And Dragon Age the Veilguard was a bad game, not just because of the, focus on DEI initiatives and checking off boxes on a checklist, but because it felt unimaginative, it didn't feel creative, it didn't feel unique, and it didn't feel like Dragon Age.
Didn't feel like anything.
Because on one hand, yeah, having things like transgender and non-binary terminology and top surgery scar toggles and having characters that are walking billboards for sexualities like Tosh isn't good, but it's not like you can even look past some of the modern day mumbo jumbo that's in this game, because the environments are only okay, the story is terrible, even the side stories are awful.
Bro, the story was dry. And when the story wasn't dry, they fit their political ideology in it. It felt like Tosh was the main character and I was just a therapist. That was fucked up. That I was over here just like, bruh, you sure you want to do that? Sorry, I'm putting something to the side over here. I was like, that is a crime in it of itself. I was like, that's kind of fucking rude. I'm gonna put you right here. That's fine. I'm gonna put you right here. Boom. Put you right here. And then, boom.
Most of the characters, I'd say 95% of them, were just trash. The overall tone of the game was bad. It was a modern Dragon Age, which nobody really wanted. It's not like there was a light at the end of the tunnel. There was some element that was absolutely amazing.
I tried
the case. And the fact that they came out and refuted Jason Schreier's sloppy writing is hilarious.
Vera, why do you do that voice? I hate it. I think that's the reason why you do it. You always call him Jason Schreier, and I'm like, stop doing that. But yeah, let's continue.
Because I don't trust Jason Schreier. He was the one that was saying get woke, go bro, to the top of the charts when Dragon Age came out, just because it topped a Steam chart for like a single day or 2 days.
It barely was even a single day. It was probably like a half a day, but I keep on telling people that it only goes up because it's by popularity, and popularity doesn't constitute to people actually playing the game. It's just a constitute of people actually checking the game out and looking at it from that perspective. And so when people look at it, they're not really purchasing the game. They're deciding whether or not they want to play it. The number of gamers, of players on Steam for Veilguard did not grow. It did not grow. It just did not. It stayed at 89,000 the whole fucking time. Like I was waiting for it to get 100K and it never fucking happened. So they weren't getting that money back. It's the dialogue. Perfect. You want to know the moment? You want to know the moment that they killed me? I can't believe they said this. Where is it? I hope.
When you.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm not trying to take this away. I want to. There it is. Yeah, this is the one. Somebody else has it. Hopefully. Oh God, here it is. This is the one. This is when you have Balara and Tosh in the same team. Here. That's the one. That's the one. It destroyed me. I was like, I can't keep playing this game. I think you guys were watching me. I think Shamer was too busy getting angry. And I was just like, I went back to factory default after I heard that. I was like, you veil jumpered him. And I was just like, bro. I'm gonna say the word that kids say. That was cringe, bruh. That was cringe. Oh my God, that is. Let's hear it again. It destroyed me. I was like, I need to stop playing this game. And I finished the game. I finished the game.
Days, and now he's had to walk that back. He's deleted that post since then. He's posted this article about inside the Dragon Age debacle that gutted EA's BioWare studio, and the fact that they are coming out and they're trashing him is hilarious because it's just a woke on woke crime. The left will eat themselves alive when they realize, well, we need more attention, right? Because basically nobody's talking about Veilguard now. Basically nobody's talking about Dragon Age now.
Nobody is.
So they have to turn to the few people that are still talking about it. I guess I'm one of them, right? Because I love giving you guys opportunities to point and laugh. But Jason Schreier put out this report, and then they realized, well, I guess we've gotta talk about it now. We've gotta try to defend ourselves.
Defend?
Well,
why?
they're getting roasted for this. Clara said exactly what I was. So basically, they're saying they were shit at their job and nothing could have made them less shit at their jobs. It's so funny that they thought this was a good defense. Oh wow, I did not see that coming. I thought they were on the same side. Well, they might be on the same side. Maybe they're just bored. Maybe they figure they're gonna get a little of attention. I'm not exactly sure what their strategy was here, but either way, it doesn't make them look good. The story and characters certainly could have been better, but I still enjoyed it. That might be mainly because it was free on PlayStation Plus, though. And hey, listen, if you enjoyed this game, that's cool. If you played it...
You're still fucking weird to me. It's still fucking weird to me. You're fucking weird.
And you found some enjoyment in it, that's great. I'm glad that you did. I'm glad that you didn't feel like you wasted your time, but I think that generally people did not like this. We made the best we could and it was shit. I'm so proud of myself and my team for making shit. I mean, yeah, that's basically what they're saying. You know, I've played the entire series from release. Veilguard was not Dragon Age, not even close. I simped so hard for Morrigan and not a single companion holds a candle in Veilguard. It's unfortunate that these people always fail upwards. Veilguard failed due to its brazen departure from gamers' desires. Whether the failure was due to wokeism or bad writing, the issue is they did it deliberately, which is very true. They did to create art in direct retaliation to your average gamer because they see us as the enemy. It might sound dorky, but this is cultural warfare using art as their weapon, which I do agree with. So I'll be keeping my eye on this to see if any of these people actually come out and make larger statements. But as of right now, it seems that there's a little bit of fighting going on because the Dragon Age of Veilguard writers are saying they made the best game they could have, which still turned out to be complete and utter trash. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'll give you guys a copy of that. I'll send it to you guys right now. This is... they're eating themselves right now. That's basically what's going on right now. And it's funny to see, but damn, I miss Dragon Age, and we might play Dragon Age here like sooner or later. But I'm looking at the Dragon Age Reddit right now, and people are just going straight back to Origins. Yeah, well, that one person's not going. They're either showing Dragon Age 2. A couple of people are talking about Dragon Age Veilguard. Who the fuck is it? Who the fuck? Corin Bush saved Veilguard. I shouldn't have come to Reddit. Corin Bush saved Veilguard from a far worse fate, and we owe her an apology. Her? Am I gonna get banned? Probably. Probably. I'm over here just like, let me read what people are saying. I can't believe I'm on here. Oh, we all should blame BioWare's middle and upper management and the nerds will gobble it up mentality. I blame the corrupting rock creature that is EA. EA didn't do a goddamn thing. Fuck out of here. Blaming management is usually a reasonable first step. Who's part of that management? Cornbush. It's most likely EA's decision. EA, listen. I like this person. Bro, I knew that the moment she got called in at the 11th hour, right around when reports were coming in that the game wasn't going to be a live service, that any good the game had was probably going to be her fault. Her? What are we all saying her for her? And it would come from her leading him? It's though a process that straight up kills most games. Props to him and the rest of the folks that pulled what they could out of the fire. Shame somebody lit it in the first place. They did. They did. They did. Fucking cesspool. I told you I didn't want to come here. I told. What am I doing here? What am I? See, people are pulling out shit from Dragon Age 2. They're just like, anyway, Veilguard didn't happen. Let's go talk about Dragon Age 2. Dragon Age 2. Somebody's about Veilguard. I finally finished Dragon Age Origins. That's good for them. Inquisition. Is that Sims? Fucking loser. Sims, really? Origins. Nice costume, by the way. Yeah, Veilguard spoilers, nobody gives a fuck. See, that's a nice tattoo of Zevran. Yeah, see. Yeah, they just, all they wanted, I guess they fucked up their mod. This is what happens when your mod gets fucked up. That's pretty fucking weird. But yeah, most of them are just like, anyway, let's talk about Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition. Some people are like, well, what's up? Check out this Veilguard thing. No, I'm not. Fuck that. They might defend Veilguard, but where is the Veilguard lore videos then? True. It's almost like Veilguard defenders aren't playing it either. If there's anything that I've learned, it's that you'll know you have a good game when the videos and lore videos start coming out. They just start popping up over and over again. There's even lore videos on Division and Division 2. It's fucking crazy. I'm sorry that I brought up Dragon Age. I apologize. I'm sorry. Veilguard didn't Veilguard the quality border. Nah, they did. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to bring that up again. Every day I'm working and I'm trying to see some news on some video games, and then somebody brings up something that pisses me the hell off, and I'm like, oh hell no. What in the world? Anybody know the game's Mind's Eye? So the game Mind's Eye. So this is the voice actor or the model for the main character in Mind's Eye. He also did Mafia 3. He wants to talk about the broken game, Mind's Eye.
I don't know whether it's not a lack of QA. I met the QA testers and they seem competent at their job. But for whatever reason, the company deciding to release something that has these issues, and then sort of taking care of it post-mortem, post-release. Obviously we were not the first game to do that. Like a very notorious example is Cyberpunk, and there have been others.
Yeah.
And as a gamer, as a consumer, I don't love that.
No.
I don't love that model. I don't like that moving forward. I'm not a business person, so like I also want to be very clear that I have no idea why that decision gets made.
We don't need to be a business person. If your game comes out and we can't play the game crashes. A perfect example would be Stalker 2. If you bring out the game and the game barely even fucking functions, you don't have to be part of the business. You don't need to know a goddamn thing. If somebody delivers you your food and you specifically said, hey, my daughter doesn't want bacon, she's allergic, and they give your daughter bacon, don't go up to them and say, listen, I'm not a cook. No! You fuck them in the ass. I mean, no. You don't need to be a business person. The only business that you need to know is your own. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, so you fuck me, so I'm gonna fuck you. That's basically how a customer should be acting. He's like, oh, you thought you could sell me on an $80 game, and you're gonna fuck me? An $80 game that can't work, and you're gonna fuck me? Okay, all right. Let's see about that.
I will just say that from a consumer perspective, and I'm sure a lot of people feel this way, I think it does more long-term harm than good to your reputation to release something that feels like it is in a state of less than 100%.
Exactly, because people are going to look at you and be like, listen, did you just make this game and then you left immediately when the game launches? Like, as soon as Mine Eye launches, the development team was like, all right, we're out of here. And I was just like, what the fuck? Not only did they leave so quickly, by the time that it launched, they cut any sort of funding and what am I looking for? They cut any sort of like promotions were paused across the board. So it's funny to me that they would just leave like a snake oil salesman and be like, it's like, oh, the game's out. All right, peace. Let's grab the money and go, 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 go. And I'm like, oh, okay, so that's how it is. But a good thing is happening where you can get a full refund from the game.
And then charge 100% of the price.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I think you have to be honest with your consumer. And in fact, like, I, as a player, would rather be told, this is in beta. Like, I know you've been waiting for this for a long time.
Yeah.
But this is a beta release of this game. And so whether it's you get to play it for free on some sort of invite list, or it's $20, $30, $15.
Right.
What insert price? I don't know what the model would be, but like, it's a much smaller fee. Know that this shit isn't done. No, it's not done. So please come interact with our thing, give us feedback, but no, it's not done. And obviously beta is a thing like that. That is a already pre-established practice. And so I'm not sure.
Yeah, perfect example is, let me show you my my Steam, all the games that I'm interested in. Please ignore the porn games for a second. Please ignore that. We got what games am I waiting on? Not that one. Banquet for Fools. I'm waiting on that. I got Sea of Stars and Chained Echoes. Those are finished. Forever Winter is another one. Core Keeper. I'm waiting on this update. I'm probably gonna update that right now. Let's see. What's another one that I'm doing right now? A lot of these games are pretty much old. Void Train. I'm waiting for Void Train to finish up. It's an early access game. What else do we got here? A lot of games I purchased and I didn't install, so you're not gonna notice much on here right now. Sands of Aura. The game finally came out, but I'm still I got a whole backlog of games that I'm trying to play with you guys. But Scum finally came out 1.0. Kind of skeptical on that game, but that was on early access and I played it on 1.0. I was just waiting. New Arcline, I can't wait for it to come out. Their early access is almost finished. I'm waiting on that one. Tainted Grail was the one that we were waiting on. Now the game is finally in 1.0, but I'm waiting for a couple of patches. I think there was a new patch right now. Enshrouded is another one that I'm doing. 1.0 finally reached with Forever Skies. I'm liking that game. There's finally a 1.0 with V Rising. We played that. But Breath Edge 2 is going to come out. I can't wait for that. That's going to be in early access. So there's just a whole bunch of games where they let you know straight off, like, hey man, this game ain't done. Did Mind's Eye do that? No, Mind's Eye came out with their big dick and was like, this is a AAA game. Came out, game can't even fucking run. Anyway, let's leave that at that. Alright, we're gonna talk about Death Stranding 2. This one's gonna be a doozy. This one's gonna be racist. It's gonna be real racist. Give me some time to actually chill out for a little bit. Okay. How's everybody doing today? We good? Every time when I, like, try to think of a game to play with you guys, I'm just like, I should stick with the 2 games that we're playing. But I'm over here just like, oh man, but I want to play all the games at once. And I don't know. I'm kind of weird like that. I'm like, I want to play all these games. But I'm just like, I just end up going to sleep and I'm like, nah, not today. I don't feel so good. There is continuous patch and updates for different games. Like, I want to go back to Tainted Grail because it finally got an update. Did I update it already? I think I did. I did. Yeah, I can't wait for that. Shit. Oh, this guy's gonna have to go. Yeah, it's gonna have to. There's one more. Pirate Software is just going around blocking people. Yo, Pirate Software is going on a blocking spree. What kind of ego is this, man? What is this? Why are you blocking people? Whatever. Whatever. Do whatever the hell you want. Let's see. Oh, of course he's protected on there. Rido Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army. Please tell me that's not a Nintendo game, because I'm looking forward to playing a Shin Megami Tensei game for the first time. That is weird. Let's keep that up there. That is fucking weird. That is really fucking weird. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Alright. Man, I've been talking a lot today. Fuck. Okay. Hey everybody, this is Mr. Hardcore Mode, where nothing is easy, here to bring you another video, another hard rant into Death Stranding 2. Death Stranding 2 has been getting a lot of good scores. Hideo Kojima has done it again. Of course, some people don't like the whole walking simulator of Death Stranding, but that's fair. The game doesn't have to be for everyone. But Death Stranding 2 came out, and people are liking this more than the first one. So I've been looking at the reviews, and a lot of people have been giving it either 9s or 10s or 5s out of 5s, and that is great. However, when it came to GameSpot, they gave it a 7 out of 10. Now, usually you think to yourself, well, that's just okay, that's fine, there's 7 out of 10, that's fine. Not everything has to be 10 out of 10. But when you look down here, and you look and focus on what the good and the bad is, you start to notice that there's more good than bad, but the bad sounds kinda awkward. See, the good is revisiting the world of Death Stranding. It is exciting. Photorealistic visuals. By the way, let's go back to revisiting the world of Death Stranding is exciting later in the video. The photorealistic visuals are stunning, even on a base PS5 model. It actually is. I think they have a Decima engine or something like that. Core gameplay is still unique. the bad is the repetitive story beats that are too close to the first game. Sir, you just said revisiting the world of Death Stranding is exciting. You wanted to revisit the world of Death Stranding? Welcome back, sir. Here you are. You're not missing anything here. You're getting more of the same. You're excited, right? Cool. However, now you're saying the repetitive story beats that are too close to the first game. What the hell are you talking about? You just said, yo, I like the first one. I hope I get more of the same. I'm excited. And then you say, man, it's just like the first one. And I'm like, what the hell, kid? Anyway, let's move on. Focus on weapons and a spectacle detracts from uniqueness. That's fucking incorrect, because I looked at the gunplay and the gameplay for the, like, there's more action in Death Stranding 2 than there was Death Stranding 1. And I think the clunkiness of Death Stranding 1 for the combat was like well known, and so they revamped it, and I've been watching people play, and I could tell straight away that it was more unique, which is, I just find that so weird. Friction is lost, rendering some challenges superficial. I guess that's, I'm just gonna take his word for it. Boss fights are unimaginative. How could you say that about Hideo Kojima? You know what? For Death Stranding, I'll let it slide. No. I see what he's saying, because when you interact with those giant, like, BTs, the big, like, oiled up enemies, like, the artistry for that is actually kind of unique. It kind of reminds me of Returnal a little bit, with the way the monsters come out of the oil. But to call them just, unimaginative, you might as well have just said that about the first game, which you just said revisiting the world of Death Stranding is exciting. So what did you not like about Death Stranding 1 then? And then the last one is questionable tropes around women. So we got a little bit of a weirdo in our hands. I mean, this is nothing new. GameSpot, IGN, Polygon, Vice, all these Kotaku, all these bloggers and Blue Sky enjoyers. This is just how they talk. And so the guy, his name is, what's his name? His name is Diego Guerrero Taco. I don't fucking care. So basically, always with the beta male feminist soy boys that look like edgy fruitcakes. He does look like a fucking fruitcake. Why the fuck do you got a chili pepper on your head? I may have answered that question already. My advice to GameSpot is to hire real gaming journalists with the love for games, not self-righteous clickbait journalists. He's kind of right. Kind of reminds me of that guy in Kotaku that was saying, yo, skippable boss scenes would be great. Same guy. By the way, there's skippable boss scenes in Death Stranding 2. You know what would have been great for him to mention is the skippable boss scenes in Death Stranding 2. I didn't like that. Nobody likes that. It's full of shit. I just don't do this whole skippable boss scene shit. You want to skip anything else? Might as well just skip to the end. I really don't like that Hideo Kojima added that, but he didn't add that part. So, this is what he wrote that kind of pissed me off. This obsession with honoring past legacy also carries the baggage of some of the series' worst tropes. I mean, apparently to you, but okay. Particularly around the portrayal of women. Bro, you're a fucking weirdo, bro. Bro, have you seen Fragile? Have you seen Fragile? Have you seen the ladies? You know how realistic they look? By the way, Fragile is fucking badass. Anyway, particularly around the portrayal of women, which the first game was also guilty of. What the fuck are you talking about? While I can't speak with authority about some of the sequel's plot lines, why not? You just brought up the whole thing about women then. including one involving a phenomenon around childbirth. Some scenes caused an exhausting deja vu. There's an wait. Exhausting? What are you talking about? But portrayal of women? You know women get pregnant, right? You do know that, right? You know women can be beautiful, right? You know that, right? You're not gonna talk about how Fragile was a fucking hero in the first one? You're not gonna talk about that one? You're not gonna talk about fucking Mama from the first game? How she risked it all to save her baby, but it didn't work out? Like how she fused herself with her own sister, and now it's two people with, in one body. The fact that her baby turned into a BT and floats around with an invisible umbilical cord, like, those are the weird moments that Hideo Kojima is known for. But this guy's just like, wow, ladies, giving birth. Man, that's fucking weird, bruh. Anyway, while I can't speak with authority about some of the sequel's plotlines, including one involving a phenomenon around childbirth, some scenes cause an exhausting deja vu. There's an unskippable photography minigame featuring 3 women posing in the front of a camera, as well as a central character who often takes her shoes off, as crew members make a running commentary about this habit. We're looking this up right now. No. Let's do the photography one first. No, because I'm getting mad. Let's do the photography one first. He means this. You mean cute girls just taking pictures? You mean, chat, you remember when I was telling you about the destruction of sisterhood when it comes to these feminist fucking weirdos? This soy boy is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. It's just women hanging out around women being women. It's just how sisterhood is. I keep bringing it up every single time where I'm just like, I like it when girls hang out with girls and, they just chill and hang out. And these motherfuckers are just like, wow, I can't skip this cutscene. Yeah, you can. It's like, bro, women enjoying themselves and women giving birth. And then we'll get to the feet moment here in a second. But this is what I'm talking about. Feminists kill women so much more than anything else. Feminist is the death of female. I'm telling you that right goddamn now. These fucking soy boy, chili pepper haired ass fucking wannabe losers disguise themselves as a fucking hero every single time. These Redditor clown bots come up here and tell you what is good and bad every single time. Meanwhile, it's like, oh man, that's cool. 3 hot women are having a good time and we're just taking pictures and they're just joking around. Now it feels like these characters have a sense of personality. It feels like the characters are not one-dimensional. That's cool. And then this guy's like, wow, I can't skip this one tiny moment in a fucking video game. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking loser. See, this is why I don't go to Taco Bell anymore, bruh. Cause Bruh, you remember when Trump said that he took care of the border and it took care of, it took care of the Mexican border, taking care of 99% of the border? Well, we're missing the 1%. Get this fucking GameSpot clown chili peppered haired ass loser out the fucking get him out of here. He's probably in Canada. He don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, where they just think that they know shit, and they could just somehow to get away with that. Nah, I'm gonna call them out every fucking time when they come out like this. We're gonna get to the feet moment. See these chicks. I think the 3 attractive women hanging out. I think one of them is pregnant. I mean, she's dancing. She can do whatever the hell she wants. Fragile's hot. The other girl, I think I've seen her in a movie or something like that. Fucking attractive women having fun, and you can take a picture of attractive women. Oh my fucking god! I can't believe this. I can't. How could you do this, Hideo Kojima? And here we're gonna check out the feet moment that he was talking about. He said the feet moment, right? He said something about like let's see, is it there's an unskippable mini game featuring 3 women. What about my fucking unskippable cutscene when I had to fucking be Mary Jane in Spider-Man 2, or when I had to play a fucking black deaf chick in Spider-Man 2? Where the fuck was that shit? Huh? Where the fuck was that unskippable, like, bullshit? Yeah, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that very much. Let's go over to the part where he was talking about, let's see, featuring 3 women posing, as well as a central character who often takes her shoes off as crew members make a running commentary about this habit. The camera pans during cutscenes aren't as excessive as, say, the treatment around Quiet and Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Bruh, why are you bringing up another game when you're supposed to be talking about Death Stranding 2? That's not how game journalists should be doing things. I mean, yeah, you can bring up other games like, yo, this game reminds me of Metal Gear. Not like, oh shit, you did the same. You're gonna fucking do a lecture to fucking Hideo Kojima and be like, you remember when you made hot chicks in Phantom Pain, Kojima, in Metal Gear Phantom Pain, and now you're doing it in fucking Death Stranding 2? How could you? Get this fat fucking Mexican loser out the fucking window, bro. What? Bro, this is, I hope he never encounters big booty Latinas ever again. He probably doesn't. He probably does not do that. No big booty Latinos for this guy. I forgot his name. His name is fucking Jose Alejandro. I don't know. Enrique Iglesias. I forgot his fucking name. I think his name is here somewhere. Diego. This fat fuck. Okay? Cut your hair, by the way. So, you wanna know what's funny about this whole thing? GameStop tried to console Ubisoft, saying Assassin's Creed Shadows isn't doing as well as Valhalla, but that's okay. I thought that was fucking hilarious. It's like watching a simp in action saying, you're a AAA industry and you make games that pertain to our political ideology, so we have to be on your side 20%, like 200% of the time. So let's get back to this part. A part about a crew member that has to take their shoes off. I think I know which character you're talking about. You're probably talking about the long blonde-haired ability. Let's see, what's her name? I think her name is Ellie Fanning. Yeah, it's her. Yeah, it's her. Let me pull out something that's like a trailer, because I'll try not to spoil anything. Because it was in a trailer. Here it is. Here it is. It's part of a trailer. So it's all good. Okay, so it's this character, and it looks like she has powers. It looks like she's got, like, chiral energy or some sort of power. By the way, very beautiful woman, by the way. But I'm pretty sure Jose Canseco, or whatever the fuck his name was. I'm just gonna call him Garcia. They're all the same to me. But this offends him, so whatever. Now, let's talk for a second. You remember this? This is what he's talking about. So, in order for her to use her abilities, she has to take off her shoes so she can use the power of, like, the chiral energy, the BTs, all this black, like, tar. She uses the tar from... She's basically Toph from fucking... she's basically Toph from fucking Avatar the Airbender. Watch. And I'll cut it off right there for spoiler reasons. That's who you mean. The lady that needs to take off her shoes so she can feel the chiral energy underneath her feet so she can dip in and out and then do her powers. Now, let's talk about the whole feet thing, because this is very important, okay? Because we all know, listen, Hideo Kojima is just second. He's just second Quentin Tarantino, okay? He's just second Quentin Tarantino. And you know what? Nobody fucking cares. For this character that you just saw, that's the reason of her powers. Did Hideo Kojima want to see her feet? Of course he did. Okay? Are people gonna like that? Duh. Obviously. Will I like it when I play it when it comes out in PC? Yeah. I like it. Yeah, so what? I'm not ashamed about it. But you remember, this is why nobody gives a fuck about what he says, is because Hideo Kojima has been like this when this is why he was upset. This is why he was upset, because this is the character that plays quiet, and now she's playing Phantom Pain. She's playing a game where she's actually in the game. Okay? Here it is.
Wow. Okay. I actually remember I had to... They asked to scan my... like underneath my feet for a reference when I was at Kojima Production.
A true inspiration, a man of culture, a man of wisdom, a man with a plan. Okay? Okay? So nobody fucking cares. You just said, yeah, one of the girls show their feet. And then everybody just went and was like Tobey Maguire and said, dude, I'm already buying the game. You don't have to sell me on it anymore. So you can get this whole mind like, oh man, portrayal of women. Nobody fucking cares. Women like it. Men like it. So fuck off. Damn, not even Miyazaki was that depraved? Shut up, Shamer. You like this shit. Don't lie. Don't even like it. Don't even like it. I'm not sure Diego knows what women is, whining about nothing. He is whining about nothing because women like this, men like this, nobody cares. I think her abilities are fucking awesome, but this is exactly what I mean. You remember when he was saying something about quiet? That's exactly what he was talking about. So you want to know what the funny thing is? He mentions quiet, and then he mentions this girl, and then he mentions the girls having fun together. And you want to know the funny thing is? I bet he was jacking off on those moments in Phantom Pain and those moments in Death Stranding 2. And so after his post-nut clarity, he came out and was like, I need a towel. Anyway, this is disgusting and it needs to be removed. I need a napkin. God damn. God damn. He post-nut clarity came back and was like, yeah. Yeah, I should. God, that was a lot. Anyway, yeah, this is bad, bruh. This is bad. You know you like those toe beans, Shamer. You know you like them. I'll bring up the video again. I swear. I swear. Good Lord. That was a lot of talking. That was a lot of talking. I forgot what kind of chat I have. I forgot what kind of chat I have. All of you are part of the Goon Cave. All of you. And you know what? Me too. Me too. Fuck yeah. I think if Hideo Kojima worked alongside Quentin Tarantino, I would watch the shit out of that. I would watch the shit out of that. You know there's gonna be feet, honey, and maybe pie. Bro. She's gonna be like, there's gonna be a character in Hideo Kojima and Quentin Tarantino's movie where she steps on some pie with her bare feet, and I'm gonna be like, finally, we got some good movies. Not me, I'm just Polish, my participation trophies, and still waiting for all the baked goods. You guys act like you're so good. You all came to me and I'm the pervert. Actually, if I remember correctly, I remember chat was just like, bro, he's too in deep. I take it back. I take back what I said. Chat always finds me in too deep into the gooning, and then it's like, you need to come out. You need to come out of the goon cave. And I'm like, nah, bro. Listen, we played Stellar Blade with one hand, and we did it, alright? We played Stellar Blade with one hand. We beat it. We came to a pervert? I guess. I don't know. Like, I modded up fucking Stellar Blade, and I can't believe people watch that. I was just like, bro, ain't nobody gonna watch me play all of Stellar Blade with my pants off. And then somehow it happened. Somehow it happened. One person was like, did you get that one? No, I think that was Hankins. Hankins was like, yo, did you get that one mod? And I'm like, bro, I already got it installed. No, I said something along the lines of like, nah, that mod is disgusting. But yeah, I got that mod. Yeah, I did. Did you get that one mod? And I'm like, oh, that's fucking disgusting. But yes, I got that mod. Yeah. It's fucking disgusting, but yeah, I did download it. You know what game that I kind of miss right now is Atomfall, Mass Effect, which is fun as fuck. I also miss playing some... We need to go back to Pillars. I think is a good time to come back to Atomfall, because I think Atomfall has a DLC. Do they? Where is Atomfall? I think Atomfall had a fucking random DLC and nobody told me about it. Yeah, Wicked Isle. It's mixed? Why is it mixed? So, Adamfall, if you've played the game, you pretty much have to start again to enjoy the DLC. It's a very weird implementation. Nice addition to the game, adds more ways to escape the zone. Best played on a new run. Oh. More of the same. Mediocre plot lines, no new sites to be found. It's a DLC for a couple of new weapons, and one of which is a unique item. Okay, gotcha. This DLC is best played on a new run, and as it involves a treasure hunt on each other map, I would visit the new islands first, and it follows its main quest until you are sent to the courtyard full of... Okay, gotcha. I hope they add another one. If they add another expansion to this, I'll definitely play this. That way we get 2 story expansions. I think Rebellion is a really good studio. They also did Sniper Elite and Zombie Army. But I think one more story expansion, I hope they work on that. That would be really good. Yeah, they work on Sniper Elite. They like shooting people's balls off. I'm all about that. I'm all about that. God, there's so many fucking good games. I don't think I have enough time. All right. Guys, I appreciate you guys coming here and giving me your support, giving me your time. You didn't need to, but you did. There's plenty of games that I want to go back to. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think, if I look at this correctly, I think it's retro time. I don't think we have anything else coming out. Thank God. Because my brain likes to do this whole thing where it's just like, new game, play it right now. And I'm like, no. No, don't do that. Release date. Mecha Break is not... I'm not playing Mecha Break with chat. Mecha Break is going to be my own thing. The next game that we got is probably in... Oh, we got plenty of time. July 23rd. July 23rd. Other than that, nothing else matters. Oh, thank God. Wait. Yes. Oh my God, we got plenty of time. I'm not worried about that game. Oh, yeah. Thank God. Yeah, it's retro time. It's time to go back. It's time for us to go back. Appreciate y'all, guys. We will have another stream coming up here in just an hour. I'm gonna go ahead and set up. We're gonna play some... Oh my God. I don't even know which... I don't know... Chat, which game should I play? Mass Effect? Pillars of Eternity? God damn, there's so many fucking good games. Oh my God, I hate this. My brain goes everywhere. And there's a game that I've never played with you guys, and I've never played myself. I've been thinking about playing this game. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I've never played this game before. But I'll definitely go back to Pillars if somebody wants me to. I've never played Vampire the Masquerade, but I heard it's really good. But I got that game. But yeah, let's stick to the games. Somebody says Mass Effect, but I'm going to bed, so I have no say. That's fair. I can head back to Pillars. That's fine. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, I think Pillars is a good idea. I do need to get back to Mass Effect though. It's also a cool game. Encased, my dude. Give it a chance. I have Encased. I think it's on, Patch 3. Cars, a plane, and a desert and gamepad support. Soundtrack, portrait, pack, run and gun. No. Yeah, we need to reinstall this. I'm gonna reinstall it right now. Yeah, I'll install it. Alright, there you go. Cool. Installed. It's a game that I played, but I stopped out of nowhere. Alright. We're going to end it here. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. I know that I've been gone for 2 days, but I'm going to try to get back up. Basically, what's been happening lately is the heat has been killing me, and I do a lot of work outside. So the last 2 days have been kicking my fucking ass. So I don't think this heat is going to get any better, but I'll do my best. I'll try to stream for you guys, and we'll go back to playing more games. I appreciate all the love and support. I hope to see you again, and y'all have a wonderful day. I will be back in like an hour or two, and then we'll play some Pillars of Eternity. Thanks for being here. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.